Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Monday, January 13th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $, ORION-NWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the NFC wildcard playoffs, the Minnesota Vikings versus the Los Angeles Rams. Kickoff is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes, and we're also double dipping and watching Monday Night Raw on Netflix, week number 2. So we'll be covering both events, Monday Night Raw, as well as the Vikings and the Rams. So let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get ready for some football and wrestling, baby. Let's get it. And on the thumb, on the left, arguably the best wide receiver in the game, not named Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Jets, Jay Jetta. And on the right, one of the best wide receivers in the game, definitely top 10, Cooper Kupp. Let's go, baby. This thumb turned out good, and it feels kind of like a trap game for the Vikings. You know, they have the better record. They're 14-3, 6-2 on the road. The Rams are 10-7, 5-4 at home. But this game, due to the fires in LA, has been moved to Cardinal Stadium, obviously where the Cardinals play. And we'll see what we end up getting here in State Farm Stadium, the correct name, where the Cardinals play. And hopefully we end up getting a good one here tonight. And then obviously we got Monday Night Raw just about to kick off here as well on Netflix in about 3 minutes. And the same thing is going to happen when we double dip next Monday, because we're going to have the Natty, Ohio State versus Notre Dame, and then we'll end up watching Monday Night Raw as well. Let's get it, baby. David in the building, what's good? Megan in the building, what's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button just yet, please do. We'll be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go, baby. I am ready. Get everything situated here. I got so many different screens up, so I want to make sure I got proper volume. All right, good here with the volume. Okay, got Netflix, and I got WWE Monday Night Raw just about to come on as well. All right, I think I'm good. I got all my stat pages up. We got the game up. I got Monday Night Raw on Netflix up. I think we are good. Let's go, baby. Definitely exciting, since the transition after football is over. Obviously, this particular matchup, and then as we get into the Natty next Monday. But then after that, it should be pretty smooth sailing for Mondays to do Monday Night Raw. And then, again, we'll be sprinkling in a little bit of NBA, NHL, college hoops, kind of filler streams until we get into February. Then we'll end up doing a little bit of NASCAR, March, obviously March Madness. And then when we get into April, it'll be MLB baseball season. And I'm going to be grinding it out for the Mariners, as well as maybe some of your favorite teams if the matchups are worth doing. Let's go, baby. All right, let me get the volume set up here. Okay, Monday Night Raw, going to turn that volume up a little higher as well. All right, I'm good to go. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Monday. And again, I felt that yesterday's game and this game have the potential to be the best two games, over the weekend, just being close matchups. The first 3 matchups almost felt like the college football playoff in the first round, where it was all blowouts. Unfortunately, we couldn't come out on top. But again, I'm not mad. Jaden Daniels did his thing. Baker had that timely fumble. We did have a good season. But again, one team was 12-5. The Commanders, the Bucks were 10-7. So obviously the Commanders were the better team. But since, we were at home, we had a good opportunity to get the job done and just fell a little short. And then hopefully next season we'll be able to make the playoffs again and go a little bit further. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I was actually going through my social media feed and reading NBA diehards talking about how hard it is to watch the NBA, even at this point. And these people are pushing through, but some of them, have kind of banned the product. And again, born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s. Basketball was so much different, in that time period. Now, it's all threes. No defense. It doesn't matter if you're a point guard or a center. You're launching it from half court. The Steph Curry influence in the very beginning was kind of cool because you saw a lot of kids wanted, to be like Steph Curry. But then it kind of transferred over to every single athlete and every single player thinking they're Steph Curry. And it definitely has hurt the game. No defense, no boxing out, no effort. And again, even though the NBA isn't really what it used to be, we'll still sprinkle in a little bit of NBA on the channel, especially if we need something to do. Like the rest of this week, Tuesday through Friday, there's not really a whole lot to do besides NBA, college hoops, or NHL. So I'm going to have to pick and choose. I was thinking about, either doing the Blazers or doing maybe Duke, since we've ended up doing quite a few, matchups with the Duke Blue Devils for Cooper Flag. But I haven't really decided just yet what we're going to end up doing the rest of the week. So we got Monday Night Raw on Netflix on here. All right, boom. I got the volume on for that. Let's go, baby. All right, everything is locked and loaded. Yeah, but unfortunately, how old are you, David? Because again, if you didn't grow up in the 80s and 90s, you're never going to know what the great NBA was. At one point when I was growing up, the NBA was number one for me. Now it's unwatchable, unfortunately. So, I'll still, go to a couple Blazer games a year in person, and that's fun. And again, I can watch the Blazers on TV because that's my team, but, 30. So you didn't really get a chance to watch too much of the great NBA period. You might have got a chance to see a little bit, in the early 2000s, but again, the best of the NBA was in the 80s and 90s by far. And then maybe from the 80s and 90s, and then maybe all the way up until like 2010, maybe 2008, 2009, 2010. And then I would say in the last 15 years, it's been progressively worse and worse and worse. But even with that being said, it's still kind of like a shell of what it was, from back in the day. But, obviously you have VHS, you have DVDs, you have YouTube, but it's not really the same from watching it live, watching games on NBC, with Jordan and Bird and Magic in their prime. So, or even in the next generation, watching with Kobe and Shaq and Iverson, AI in their prime. Even that second generation is better than what we're getting right now. Jacob in the building, what's good? Daniel in the building, what's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall. And again, we're watching Monday Night Raw on Netflix as well. So we're double dipping. We're going to be reacting to Raw, and we'll also be reacting to this particular matchup as well. We got CM Punk entering the building. And the Buckeyes should end up winning. The Natty, they got more NFL players, on that roster top to bottom, but Notre Dame is a little weak at wide receiver and tight end. But other than that, they match up pretty well with the Buckeyes, but it'll be a defensive battle. But, I would be shocked if the Buckeyes don't win the Natty. So based on the talent that they have on their roster. Oh, man, 86ers. Even if you go back into the, late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, late 80s, and even in the 90s, going with the Dr. J era, Maurice Cheeks, Charles Barkley, It was, it was must-see TV back then, and there was plenty of superstars, and it was marketed on a whole nother level. There's a reason why Dream Team 92 was the best team ever constructed, and you could put together any combination of players playing today to play the 92 Dream Team, and they would have gotten smoked. There's a reason why there's more top 50 players that grew up in the 80s and 90s in that era than any other era. So Andre Miller, yeah, that's a decent comparison. And we got the Vikings and Rams, Monday Night Raw, CM Punk interacting with the fans here ringside. And winner of this particular matchup will go against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Commanders, since they beat the Bucs last night, my team, they're going to end up going against the Detroit Lions. And then we got Texans and Chiefs, and then probably the best matchup of everything, Ravens and Bills. All right, baby, I'm ready. Yeah, but I miss the glory days, and it's just kind of sad for, the NBA to be number one back in the 80s and 90s, and now to, be, I don't want to say it's like unwatchable, 100%, but it definitely is a hard watch. I mean, going in person, is much better than watching it on TV. I can say that for sure. Because, even though the Blazers are bottom 5, going in person is fun when I can go with my friends and whatnot, and we can still cheer the team on, even though we're destined for a top 5 pick. But it's not like the Blazers have terrible players. We actually have some pretty fun players to watch. It's just they're incredibly young and kind of inexperienced. So Monday Night Raw there in San Jose on Netflix. CM Punk on the mic. And we're just about get started here for the NFC wildcard playoffs with the Minnesota Vikings 14-3 versus the 10-7 Rams. Let them know, CM Punk. I'm loving that they have Raw on Netflix now so everyone can watch it at the same time together. Because every time when people in the Midwest would get it at 5, I would have to wait until 8 to be able to watch it here in Oregon. So to be able to watch it at the same time as everyone else in the Midwest and East Coast is pretty fire. And then obviously we'll have to figure out what we're going to be doing on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Haven't really decided just yet. I'm kind of maybe leaning towards Duke tomorrow. The Blazer game is on late, but they're playing against the Nets. And, there's only a few teams that I think I would consider doing on the NBA side if it wasn't the Blazers. But I guess we'll have to pick and choose and decide what we want to do. Want to see what we got tomorrow. Cavs and Pacers. Thunder and Sixers, Suns, Hawks, Pelicans, Bulls, Kings, Bucks, Nuggets, Mavericks, and then Nets, Blazers at 7. All right, baby, let's go. Shout out to all of the new subs that we've acquired here in January as well as the end of December. Appreciate y'all. Embiid, yeah. Just not a player, kind of an overrated player, a guy that, has incredible talent, but just the off the, court stuff and, his personality, some people like it and it rubs people the wrong way. He likes to troll a lot and whatnot, but I don't know. I think Philadelphia deserves better instead of just a big man that, every once in a while that can throw up a 40 or 50-point game. But I feel for most Sixer fans, it's a disappointment. I got Whitworth on the mic, CM Punk on the mic. They're getting a new arena. All right, nice. We got Seth Rollins coming out. When's the new arena getting built? All right, Seth. Seth looking fresh on Monday Night Raw. Announced today by 2031. Damn, you're going to have to wait a while. Yeah, I would assume you will get an All-Star weekend once it goes up, because all the facilities are going to be brand new and they're going to want to show it off. So I would assume, within the first 5 years of it being built, you guys will have an All-Star game there. I figured this game was going to kick off at like 5 o'clock or 5:05, but I mean, every time they end up putting a time, it ends up being like 10 or 15 minutes later, just like in the college football playoff and whatnot. So, and plus, since it's not in LA, they need to address the fires. They need to do some songs. They need to have little speeches and whatnot. But I'm just ready for the game to get going here. We got CM Punk and Seth with the stare down here on Monday Night Raw. And national anthem and everything else here in the NFL matchup. Vikings and Rams should be able to get kicked off here as soon as this is over. Definitely feels kind of like a trap game to me, for the Minnesota Vikings. It's either, Sam Darnold's going to play great, or he'll end up playing, average to below average, as well as the defense. If the defense plays great and Sam Darnold plays great, this could be a blowout. But if Darnold struggles a little bit with that, rush defense by Los Angeles, and they end up getting pressure on him, right? And Darnold ends up having kind of an average game, not a great game. This game could be very, very close, and the Rams could possibly upset the Vikings. It wouldn't be that shocking. It definitely feels like a little bit of a trap game, but again, regardless who ends up winning, will be matching up against the Philadelphia Eagles. We've got one last commercial break as they're going over Flight Risk, new movie. Got Seth and CM Punk talking shit back and forth on Monday Night Raw. They're in San Jose. Life is good. Let him know, Seth. Captain in the building. What's good? Flying Monk in the building. What's good? Well, I would assume, you're probably going to get a decent amount of Rams fans, even though we know in SoFi it seems like Charger fans and Rams fans don't exist, and it's always the opposing team that has more jerseys in the crowd, at least at SoFi. But based on the crowd, it looked like there's some Cardinal fans there, there's Rams fans there, there's Vikings fans there, and it looks like there's kind of like some just randoms that ended up wanting to show up to this game in Arizona where the Cardinals play here at State Farm. So I'm not really sure if you're going to have really a home field advantage per se, but I got Monday Night Raw on. Now we got Drew McIntyre coming in here, entering the fold. I'm going to win the Royal Rumble, CM Punk says. Seth Rollins says, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. Drew McIntyre, he says, I'm going to win the Royal Rumble. So they're all talking shit right now, and we're double dipping. $10 holla. Appreciate you. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. We're at 10. 90 to go. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. 90 to go. And if you want to help out with the likes and the donos, I definitely would appreciate that very much, Captain. And then again, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, kind of a decision that we have to make because there isn't any football to do. It's too early for baseball. NASCAR hasn't started. So it has to come down to the NHL, the NBA, or college hoops. So I'm thinking I'm going to do Duke tomorrow at 6. They play Miami just because we've done, quite a bit of Duke, 3 or 4 streams already. So obviously I would rather do, something like football related, but if there's nothing to do, what can we do, right? So I'm thinking that Duke and Miami will be on tomorrow at 6 at ESPN. So I'm thinking maybe I'll end up doing that. It's either that or the Blazers tomorrow. And, Blazers is interesting for me, but for everyone else, I think that they could care, they could care less about it. The NBA isn't a very good product right now. But then on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're going to have to, figure something out. I can probably take one day off, maybe 2 at the most, but I definitely want to be able to try to do at least 2 streams out of the 4 days or 3, but we'll have to figure out what we're going to do. Yeah, LA definitely isn't a football city. It definitely is a baseball town. They could say, oh, they got the Lakers and the Clippers, but it's Dodgers. All right, here we go. Finally, we get this kickoff. All right, we got first down and 10 here for the Rams. And again, we're double dipping here with Monday Night Raw as well. Definitely feels like a trap game for the Minnesota Vikings. But, again, this is the team that should win, like the Commanders yesterday. But you never know, with a 10-7 team like the Buccaneers and the Rams, if they get hot, there's a chance. And we fell short, obviously, yesterday, by 3. But it was kind of a different type of game that I'm used to. We didn't throw the ball as often as we normally do. Stafford going downhill already. Puka Nacua, first down, Rams, move the chains. Flying Monk with the 20. Let's go, baby. I can't wait to do the Mariners, too, because everyone knows me as, the YouTuber that does all the Oregon Ducks as well as the Seattle Mariners, as well as many other things. But I think that's what most people know me for, is the Mariners and the Ducks. And my goal is to do about 150 plus games out of the 162. And if I'm going to miss 10 or 12, it'll only be because we have another, WWE PLE, or if it's on really early in the morning. But again, I always try to be able to push and even do the streams at 9, 10, 11 in the morning, even if we might not get a good turnout and donos might be a little light. I'm still going to grind for the team and for you guys. $20 holla. Hey, I can't wait to do the Mariners, my guy. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We finally made a move, and we ended up getting a low-name Padre player. Nothing really too special to really get that excited about. I think, Solano? So, again, his batting average is pretty good, but I don't think that necessarily is going to be like, oh, that's going to make the big difference in the, overall product with the Mariners, but at least it's something. We're at 30, 70 to go. Let me know what you guys want to do for photos, and I got you. Second down and 9. Stafford going deep. Oh, my. Let's go. Rams. Tyler Higbee. First down. Ramley. Move the chains. Let's go. This is going to be a good game. Like I said, I feel like this game, as well as the Buccaneers and Commandos, felt to me like it was going to be the closest 50-50 matchup And also, I had a feeling that the Chargers and Texans, I thought was going to be close, but I was wrong. And it ended up being in a Texan blowout. Herbert had 3 interceptions all year, threw 4 against Houston. And I don't think anyone predicted that outcome. But yesterday, close game. We lost by 3. And this one could go either way. And obviously, the Rams need to finish fast and they need to finish strong. Screen pass to Puka. And, it's like, I think you can probably trust Stafford a little bit more than you do Sam Darnold. Since it's not a home game for Minnesota, this is a road game for both. But, Puka's great. Cooper Kupp is great. Kyron Williams is great. Stafford is still good for an old man. Obviously the defense has an edge for Minnesota with Andrew Van Ginkel and company. And you got Jetta and you got Aaron Jones and you got Jordan Addison and Hawkinson. But really it's going to come down to the line of scrimmage, who's going to win the offensive line, defensive line battle. And then obviously, whose defense is going to play better? Is the Rams going to overachieve, or is it going to be Minnesota's, top defense? They've been top 2, top 3 all year, but so far a little tough start for them. I got you. We got Chad Gable coming out here for Monday Night Raw. I assume he's going to be going against Penta, and he's going to make his debut from AEW to WWE. They had all of Penta's gear. You can even get one of his Lucha replica masks for like $70 on WWE on their store I saw this morning, and they got a bunch of new merch for him too. So, yeah, Vikings fans are in there. There probably is more Viking fans in the building than there is Rams fans. 3rd down and 7. And then the Rams have to use a timeout there. Well, every game for the Rams is a road game, so this is nothing new to them. Third down and 7. Shotgun set for Stafford. Pressure off the edge. Little check down. Kyron Williams diving for the first down, but short. 4th down and 1, I believe. And I'll get the photos loaded up here in just a second. Matt in the building. What's good? We got Monday Night Raw on Netflix on. We got the Rams and the Vikings. I mean, if you love wide receivers, right, this is the game for you. If you love running backs and wide receivers, this is the game for you. Wide receivers, running backs, tight ends, you're going to enjoy this one. And again, the defenses have actually been pretty good, for both of these teams. Rams, a little bit of a surprise. No Aaron Donald, but false start. No. Offsides, it looked like they baited him. But obviously the Viking defense is better than the Ram defense, but some of those draft picks have really panned out, like Jared Verse and company, in Aaron Donald's absence of retirement. The Rams defense at times can look like a top 10 or top 12 defense, but the Vikings defense has been number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, or number 5 in almost every fucking category this season, led by Andrew Van Ginkel. 1st and goal as the Vikings jump off sides. Can't be doing that. First and goal. Sarah in the building. What's good? No worries. Man in motion. Stafford. Play action fake. Bootleg. Looking for a target. He's wide open. Touchdown. Rams. That was a fucking sweet play call. Stafford going across his body. Kyron Williams. Hard to be able to guard someone that long, and a great start. I talked to Mr. Williams today, and I told him I felt that this was a trap game for Minnesota. And again, I'm not going to be right on every single prediction that I have, but again, I feel like I have a pretty good pulse, like 90% or better I'm going to end up getting the correct matchup or the feeling on how the game is going to go. Play action, everyone goes bootleg right. Kyron Williams blocks, pretends he's a blocker, fades away, and obviously gets behind the defense, wide open. Stafford keeping his eyes downfield. Boom, shakalaka, extra point is up and good. And that's exactly what the Rams need if they're going to win this game. They need to start fast and continue to pour it on. And then let me know what other photos that you want. I know that you donated the $10 holla yesterday, but then you ended up kind of dipping a little bit early. I threw up a couple Bo Nicks for you for Oregon and Denver. But if you want some photos today, I'll take care of you. And I got you because I appreciate you. And again, I know you're working hard for your dollars. You understand how hard I work, obviously for mine. And I'll take care of you for any additional photos, Matt, that you want here today. Appreciate you very, very much. 7-0 Rams. We got Monday Night Raw. Penta, I believe, is coming out here for his debut, going against Chad Gable. And let's get some of the photos up here for our 2 donos that we have so far. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Let's go. Penta is going to do very well here in WWE. You're going to see a lot of wrestlers go back and forth from AEW to WWE. But the Lucha Brothers, were one of the best tag teams in AEW. They had some amazing matches, right, with Nick and Matt Jackson, right? And if you end up, looking at, the matchups that they ended up having there, pretty incredible. Again, and I love that Lucha Libre style of wrestling. Again, we know Rey Mysterio, is getting up there in age, and he's not the same performer as he was when he was much, much younger. So to be able to get some more luchas, here in WWE, not just an NJPW or AEW or any of the other, federations that are out there. Let's go. Heck yeah. We were hoping that Penta was going to debut last week on the debut of Monday Night Raw, but this is a perfect matchup with him and Chad Gable here for the first match of Raw. This is going to be probably the best match of the night, I would assume. So, and they already have all the Penta merch. You can buy his replica mask for like $60-$70 already on WWE, obviously shop already. So definitely excited to see how they end up using him, and hopefully they don't fuck up, the storylines, and they give him a fair shot to show what he can do. And then let's see if I can get some other photos up here. Rufus Porter, huh? I don't know how many photos I'm going to be able to get out of Rufus Porter because I'm just looking it up right now. There's not really a whole lot that I can give you. A lot of the stuff on there is kind of misshaped sizes. You got someone else that you want to be able to see besides Rufus Porter? I mean, a lot of the photos are kind of grainy and they're weird shapes, or they have like a kind of a copyright over the image and whatnot. So it doesn't really look that great. There's only, as I type it in, 1, 2, 3 Saint photos, and then 2 Seahawk photos and like a Buccaneer one. But a lot of them, they don't really look up to standard here on the channel. So if there's something else I can get you Saint player wise, let me know and I got you. (7-0) Rams, 2nd down and 11. Shotgun set. Darnold. Pocket collapsing. It's 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. And you got to watch out for Jared Verse and company. I'm telling y'all, the Rams have a chance in this game. All right, there's more of Easley. I can do that for you. Plenty of ones there I can get you. So. Good choice. Third and 21. Little check down to Jay Jetta. Minimal gain there. Fourth down. And Rams here about to receive the punt. And we got Penta and Chad Gable on Monday Night Raw on Netflix since we're double dipping. And we'll end up doing that as well, obviously, for the Monday Night Raw week number 3, because we're going to have the Natty that will be on, but we'll also be watching, obviously, Monday Night Raw. All right, see if we can get a few more photos here. And luckily, Easley's photos, there's more of them and there's better quality. So, again, normally I'm not going to, have an option where I'm like, well, there's not too many, but unfortunately, depending on how old school we get, some people are going to have more options than others. But Easley definitely has some better photos, action photos and still photos as well. So. Hold on, Paisley. 7-0 Rams. Penta and Gable going outside of the ring and going at each other. Appreciate you guys very much. Yeah, it looks like it, at least so far. I mean, if Minnesota was at home, then you could feel comfortable picking them to win. But even with that being said, after playing the Lions, it can definitely take away a little something from you. And again, this one isn't really a home game for either one of these teams. And the Vikings were 6-2 on the road, Rams 5-4. But again, you never know. Every once in a while, a 10-7 team can compete with a 12-13, 14-win team, just like last night. Commanders were 12-5. They're the better team compared to Tampa's 10-7. But, sometimes being at home, not the case for the Rams here today. The Bucs were at home, but, we almost got it. But again, we didn't throw the ball as much as I wanted to, and Bucky Irving really wasn't able to get into a rhythm. And if Bucky was able to get into a rhythm, and if we threw the ball more often and we didn't have that shitty Baker fumble, maybe we would have won. But, it's all right. Again, I already knew that we were a pretender, not a contender. And again, it gives an opportunity for Jaden Daniels to shine in his rookie season. And then we'll see what they can do against the Lions. And the winner of this one will play the Eagles. And the Eagles haven't really looked that great in the last couple of weeks. So I'm not saying that, the Lions are going to lose or the Eagles, but, again, Eagles didn't look that great against Green Bay. But again, we'll see what they look like, obviously, moving forward, when they end up playing either the Rams or the Vikings. If you're Philadelphia, you feel comfortable against either one of these teams. So, first down, Rams. Move the trains. Stafford, I see you. DeMarcus Robinson, Penta and Gable going at it on Monday Night Raw. Finley in the building. What's good? Let's go over these photos here one more time. for our donos that we have so far. We're at 30, 70 to go. And we'll sprinkle in more. Jay Jetta there for captain. And if there's anything else that you want to be able to see besides Kenny Easley, you let me know. And I gotcha. I'm just thankful I was able to find at least a few that are up to the channel standard. That one's a little blurry, but again, that one is kind of, it's like a zoomed in of this one right here. So, ooh, Sling Blade. You already know that this is going to be one of the best matches of the night. And then after we have the Natty and Monday Night Raw next week, after that, Monday should be clear for Monday Night Raw live stream watch parties, which will be exciting. But now we have to figure out what we're going to do on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We don't have any football. So it has to be either the NHL, the NBA, or college hoops. So kind of filler material. We don't have NASCAR just yet. Oh, my God. Holy fuck. Penta over the top, and Gable didn't even catch him. Holy fuck, his back is broken. Jesus Christ. You're supposed to kind of, carry the fall a little bit and like help the guy out when he's jumping at you. Chad Gable just moves out of the way. Penta does a somersault, lands completely on his back on the padding, but that probably took the wind out of him. Oh my God. Help him out. Jesus. Barely got a little bit of him right there. Yeah, Penta is amazing, man. I mean, if you used to watch, Nick and Matt Jackson, obviously, all elite, they had some of the best matches with, the Lucha Brothers going against Nick and Matt Jackson. And I'm happy that he's here in WWE. It's nice to have another Lucha presence, to some of these WWE fans. Nice crossbody there by Penta. Second down and 3, 7-0 Rams. We're going to be watching both of these, and I'll be calling both of these. And I don't know if you're really going to see the full Penta experience like you did in AEW. Kyron Williams, there you go. Spin move, breaking tackles, first down, Rams, and he fumbles. Puka with the recovery. Oh, my. 2. I mean, that's what I was kind of thinking. The Kraken are terrible. The Blazers are terrible. So again, it kind of just depends on, preference and whatnot. So I think I would, I don't mind doing Duke, just because of Cooper Flag, and he ended up breaking like the ACC record a couple days ago where he had like 42. So he's really starting to kind of come into his own, scoring 20, 30, 40 points. So yeah, they're going to be going against Miami, and Miami's terrible. It's like 12-4. Or like 14-2 going against, like 4-12. I mean, it's like a pretty big disparity in the records, but it'll be kind of at least something to do, for a couple hours to hang out. So I'm thinking you're right, Finley. So I'll probably do Duke tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll kind of take your guys' advice. And, if you guys are willing to hang out and show up, vibe with me, then we can figure out what we want to do for those rest of those days. And then obviously when we get into February, I'll sprinkle in some NASCAR on Sundays, March Madness for March, and then obviously Mariners baseball and all of your favorite teams in April and beyond. Oh, Gable is probably the most underrated wrestler that's in WWE right now. He kind of gives me like the Dolph Ziggler vibes, where he's incredibly athletic. Wow, what a move by Penta. But the thing about Chad Gable that I feel that has gotten much better within the last couple years is his microphone skills. He used to be like okay on the mic and a great wrestler. Now he's a great wrestler and he's great on the microphone. He makes the perfect fucking heel. He can be a face and he can be funny, but for him to be the heel, I think that's the best version of him, just like in most wrestlers. Yeah, and again, I can always do the Blazers. Again, I can watch them in person and have fun, but I don't really know how much everyone else is going to enjoy watching the Blazers. But if you're just going to hang out with me, but I'm thinking, Duke basketball, Blazers, that'll come first. And then after that, maybe the Kraken or maybe a good NBA matchup, like when we ended up seeing the Cavs and the Thunder a couple days ago. I can end up doing something like that if it's just like a one-off, like, once a week type of thing. But, I would prefer to do something other, than that. But, we have to figure out, I can't just have 4 days off. I have to be able to pay bills and take care of Paisley. So we just have to think of the best thing that we can do. I mean, if we could end up doing a food stream, for like 2 hours, and then we could end up getting people to show up and like and sub and dono and share, and we can end up getting a good turnout. I wouldn't mind doing that. That actually would be probably the thing I would prefer to do the most out of anything, honestly, even over basketball, NBA, NHL, or college hoops. But, I just don't know if we would be able to get enough of a turnout to make that successful enough. But I know one day we will. We'll have a specific day once, a week or once a month where we can just do food, and then based off the dono, that will be where we go based off food group or food type. But again, we'll just kind of have to wait and see, and I'll see what you guys, got on tap. Field goal is up and good, 10-0 Rams. Nice for Penta to get the win in his debut. I just feel like sometimes when you get guys in WWE, it's kind of a watered down version of what he was able to do in AEW. He was a little bit more hardcore and a little bit more high flying, but hopefully they'll allow him to have no setbacks on like moves and he can be as extreme as possible. He would be an amazing, ECW wrestler. He did the same type of wrestling there in AEW. And again, good match to start off there with Gable and Penta. Amber in the building, what's good? Odin in the building, what's good? Yeah, so I got the Rams and Vikings on, and I got Monday Night Raw. Like I said, I told you guys as soon as Monday Night Raw was going to be on Netflix, I'm going to be, doing a double dip if we have to. Next Monday will be the Natty, the Ohio State University versus the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, Odin's team, right? And then we'll end up watching Monday Night Raw week number 3 on Netflix at the same time. Obviously, most of our eyeballs will be focused on the Natty, but I'm going to have it on in the background, and I can kind of commentate on both. And again, it's nice to be able to have it on at the same time for all of us to be able to enjoy because you guys in the Midwest and East Coast, you guys used to get it at, 5 o'clock right now, where I would have to wait till 8 p.m. to, kind of catch like, the West Coast version. So Amber, what's good? So I'm thinking we'll do probably Duke tomorrow for Cooper Flag. And then I guess on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll have to figure out what we're going to end up doing. But again, I enjoy doing the food streams, and I think it's a fun thing to be able to show your guys' personality and what you guys like. And who doesn't like looking at HD 4K photos of food? Again, it's like I can always do some shitty NBA matchup or some shitty NHL matchup or something, but it's like, man, it's like I would rather do something that I enjoy and that others can enjoy instead of just us, just kind of going through the motions in some crappy NBA game or some crappy NHL game. So, I don't know. It's kind of at this point, as we get deeper into the season where it actually means more, then, we'd be more likely to do some more NHL and NBA. But right now, during the regular season, it's kind of it's not like must-see TV, really. It's just kind of filler content. So I'm thinking we'll do Duke tomorrow at 6. And then, I don't know, maybe freestyle or food streams, and once we do the first one, we'll see what we get. But again, we have to see what kind of turnout we can get and what we're going to get result-wise and whatnot. So handoff up the middle. Rams playing some good defense there with Jared Verse and company. I see you. Nice 10-0 lead to start off. So far, 2 for 11. So not looking very good. Now, if Minnesota was at home, they would have a better chance of winning this game. But essentially, it's a road game for them. Regardless if it's in SoFi or here at State Farm where the Cardinals play. But I felt like this was going to be a trap game, and I said this, weeks ago. And right now they're down 10-0, and it's not like Minnesota can't come back. They are the better team, but again, just because the team's got a better record and they're the better team doesn't mean they're going to play the better football today. And I felt like if Darnold kind of had an off game and the defense was a little off, yeah, the Rams are going to keep it close and they could win. The only way the Vikings are going to win this game is if the defense for the Vikings plays like a number one defense and Darnold rakes and he plays awesome. If not, and he plays average or slightly above average, and the defense doesn't play great, the Vikings easily could lose. So winner of this will play Philadelphia, and I don't know. I'm pretty good with the trap games, and I'm pretty good about predictions. Just like yesterday, I told you all that Commanders-Bucks could go either way, and we ended up losing. Obviously there at the end of the matchup, Baker with that key fumble, but it was close. It was the best playoff game out of all the playoff games. So it felt like the first 3 or 4 playoff games that we had prior to the Bucks Commanders felt like the first round in the college football playoff where it was just blowouts. And we deserve better as fans. Little check down. Good wrap up there and tackle by the Rams. Ham with the catch. We're at 30, 70 to go. But again, for recommendations for filler streams until we get to baseball season, you guys let me know what you guys are thinking, for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to need something to do. I can take like a day off, but I don't want to take 2-3 days off out of those 4 days. So I want to do at the very minimum 2 streams and 2 days off, but I would like to do 3 streams and take maybe 1 day off, and then we got Saturday and Sunday with playoff football. Monday's the Natty, and we have Monday Night Raw next week also. So screen there to Jetta. I had to let Paisley out. She wanted out, so. End of the first quarter, 10-0 Rams. Fight night, baby. Seamus, watch out. Third down and 10 for the Vikings. Not a good start for them, and I'm not surprised. Again, it's like some teams can have an amazing record, but it's like, are you playing your best ball at the end of the year? And it feels like not just the loss to the Lions, but, it just feels like you feel a little bit more confident, and it's not like the Sam Darnold story is bad. It's like you want to root for a guy like him and Baker Mayfield to finally find a team and have success, but they've been a little shaky. Even with this 14-3 record, they got an amazing record, but it almost feels like, like a Fugazi 14-3. It doesn't really feel like, you got a team that's 10-7 that's bringing them the business, and it shows you just because you got 12, 13, 14 wins, if you're not playing your best ball as of right now, a 10-7 team could definitely punch you in the mouth and win this, matchup, and they're up 10-0, and again, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams win this. Yeah, well, this is what we got going on. So tomorrow, it would be Blazers. The Blazers play, and I can always do Blazers, but they play the Nets at 7 p.m., so it's a little too late. So I'm thinking tomorrow for sure we're going to do Duke. So, I want to make sure I get a Cooper flag in. So they play Miami at 6 o'clock on ESPN. So I can end up doing that. But then on Wednesday, not really anything too crazy. I mean, I guess I could do Kansas, Iowa State. Kansas is 9, Iowa State is 2. So I guess I could do that. That's at 4 o'clock on ESPN too. So I would be willing to do that. So I guess we could do college hoops. And then Thursday, no college hoops. Friday, nothing really there either. So maybe college hoops, and then maybe, NBA or NHL or something. I don't know. Or maybe we do college hoops, and then we do food, on the last 2 days on like Thursday and Friday or something of that nature. But I'm not too sure, but we definitely have to figure something out. Field goal up and good. 10-3 Rams. At least the Vikings get on the board. Yeah, well, again, if they were smart, they would have, got rid of McCarthy obviously sooner. So that way, if they really wanted Belichick, in there, and they could have had maybe interviews with some of those guys and whatnot. But, you never know. There's always going to be rumors on what they possibly could do or will do, right? Like all the rumors are saying, they could trade Dak away, and end up drafting Shedeur Sanders. But again, it's like, do you really want Deion, Shedeur, and then, Shiloh? It's like, they're going to try to make it like a package deal and whatnot. But I don't necessarily think Deion Sanders is going to, be the coach for the Cowboys and everything is fixed and everything is great. They're still going to suck. I guess it would be able to, have a new face in the building. But again, Jerry Jones is going to control everything. He's not going to let Deion be Deion, and have full control. So for everyone thinking, oh, this will solve all the problems, the hell it will. It's not like Jerry Jones has passed away, and it's not like he's willing to not be the face of the franchise. And Deion loves the camera just as much as Jerry Jones. I don't see how that would work, But again, people love to put out the rumors, right, on what could happen, but I just don't see that happening. Yeah. I mean, I think Deion at some point, he may end up getting a job in the NFL one day. He's, just trying to build up his resume, college, and, as soon as he keeps, getting higher and higher, based off school, at some point, if he can end up being like, like on the Michigan level, and then he has success there, then maybe an NFL team will come a calling. But, you never know. Deion does have a lot of connections, and he could end up bringing guys like Warren Sapp with him, over to a team and whatnot, and other coaches that you can build from and whatnot. But again, I just don't think that any scenario for any coach is going to succeed as long as Jerry Jones is still alive and wants full control. Like, I've never seen an owner wanting to be on TV more than the head coach or the star quarterback or star player. It's just a little crazy. But Ludwig Kaiser coming in down to the ring here. 10-3 Rams. Yeah. Right. True. Anne Hathaway. She doesn't age. I actually saw a thing of her yesterday, based on like her age progression. And they were talking about how some of these Hollywood actors, they look like they're vampires, like they don't age. Like 20 years will pass, from like 20 years old, 19, 20 to like 40. And they literally look the same. You only get a few of those people, but you can also tell the people that are abusing alcohol and other things. And obviously that'll make you age real quick. But you get a few of these people like Paul Rudd and Anne Hathaway that, they like look pretty much the same in the last 15 or 20 years. And obviously everyone wearing the LAFD. Now if they were smart enough not to take away the insurance for a lot of those people and they actually had water in the well, things would have been much, much better for LA, as well as all of those trees that have that oil that obviously continue to, stay ablaze, instead of, getting all of the palm trees and those trees from Australia that they, brought over. I get it, being rich has its perks, but they probably didn't think that those trees would burn as much as they did. And then with those high winds, prayers up for everybody there in LA. Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus going at it. And like a little scoop and score by the Vikings, and we know their defense is very, very good, and that's how they get back into the game. Touchdown, Vikings. And again, Andrew Van Ginkel and company, that this is what they've been doing all season long, but will it count though? And if you're Stafford, how do you let go of the football right there? Like, hang on to the football. Are they going to try to say incomplete pass right there? Yeah, I think she has like some kind of illness or something, like lupus or something else, like some kind of disease or something that she's battling with. But obviously, if you look at the photos of her, from 6 years ago, like in 2018, compared to what she looks like now, I know obviously a lot of them are taking like Ozempic and all that for like weight loss, and that's going to be for people that are drastically overweight, not for people that are already skinny trying to get skinnier. But that's kind of the Hollywood trend right now, abusing those types of fat reducing drugs and whatnot, and then you get these skinny people trying to get skinnier, and then they look like ghouls and goblins. They don't even look like real people anymore. Incomplete pass. What do we think about that, you guys? Do you think that's a fumble and a touchdown, a scoop and score? Did the Vikings get robbed right there? Wow. I mean, I read up on pretty much everything that's going on in the world. I don't really try to go out of my way to read too much about different celebrities and whatnot. But I mean, if it comes across on my timeline, I mean, I'm gonna, take a little peek. I'm not gonna deep dive into anything like I do with NFL film and with sports in general. But yeah, but Belichick wouldn't want to be bossed around by Jerry Jones, so I don't think it would have been a fit anyways. They could say that, and rumors and this and that. And Bill, I mean, if Bill really wants to go there, and if they really want him, it's only $10 million to buy him out of the North Carolina deal. So it's still like early enough where if that was really true, they could still make it happen. But I don't think that would be a good fit either. Stafford airs it out, incomplete. You got to think, you got to have a special type of coach. They haven't been good, really since 1995. So if you don't get a Jimmy Johnson type, it's not going to work, and they've had Parcells and they've had a lot of these other guys, but it just hasn't really been a good fit. And a big chunk of that is because of Jerry Jones. If he would just shut the fuck up and just be the owner and, make the money and just let the GM and the head coaches and the coordinators do their thing, then maybe the Cowboys would have made the NFC Championship game by now. Maybe they would have, I don't want to say they would have been able to make a Super Bowl because they've never been that good to make it to that level, but they have been NFC Championship game good at least a couple years since 1995, but were failed to do so, just like that failed pass there by Stafford, incomplete. Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus on Monday Night Raw on Netflix. Counts deflects there off Puka Nakua. Vikings get robbed of a touchdown when they said it was incomplete, but that's the type of Minnesota ball that we're used to. It's like Darnold's got to play great. The defense has got to play like a top 2, top 3 defense like they have all year, and that's when they win games. But when the defense is kind of average and Darnold is average, that's when they lose. And again, Stafford, doing a good job, giving them that 10-0 lead, and they're probably feeling very lucky right now that the game isn't 10-10 based off that fumble and touchdown that got reversed. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sheamus. Big chops to Ludwig Kaiser. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 20 within the first hour and a half, 30 to 50 overall if we can hit that algorithm, which we have been hitting pretty often as of late. And then obviously we'll be shooting for 100 on the donuts. We're at 30, 70 to go. I think we're going to end up doing Duke tomorrow versus Miami, and that'll be at 7. And then again, we may end up doing a freestyle stream at some point during the week. But again, I'm looking for recommendations for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I can do college hoops for basketball for Tuesday and Wednesday. I can do Duke and Miami tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, and then I can do Kansas, Iowa State. Iowa State is number 2 in the country, 14-1. Kansas is number 9, 12-3. That would be worth me doing. That's at 4 o'clock on ESPN2. So we got enough content for college hoops for the next 2 days, but then Thursday and Friday we need to figure something out. Whether it's just doing food for an hour or two, and it doesn't have to be like a 3-4 hour stream like when we do football and baseball. We can do a shorter stream of an hour to 2 hours or an hour to 2 hours and 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be super long, but again, it all depends on the turnout and the likes and the subs and the views and the possible dono train that we can get. But because anytime we end up doing a food stream, I mean, the possibilities are endless, and we can always do photos of other things that people like if they end up donating or not, whatever, so we can figure it out. 10-3 Rams. I haven't got a chance to watch any Iowa State yet either, so Kansas and Iowa State would be a good matchup. So now Vikings fans saying the Rams are going to get a pity win. You got to get out there and you got to win the game. And again, I felt this was going to be a very close game, just like the Bucs and the Commanders. But it seems like Rams fans and Viking fans losing their lids already. I mean, the game's not over yet. It's only in second quarter. And I get it. The touchdown got reversed. But if you're going to hang your hat on you felt like you got cheated, you're 14-3. The defense has been great all year. You just got to put your head down and keep working. First down and 10. Little toss to Aaron Jones. Fighting for some extra yards there. Second down. Sheamus with a win. 12 noon, you know what time it is? Time for a sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, my. Vikings, again, that offensive line, it's going to be who's going to win the battle up front. And, everyone talks about, Darnold and Aaron Jones and Jetta and Addison and Hawkinson. But that O-line, if it doesn't protect, that's what you're going to end up getting right there. And whoever wins the line of scrimmage is going to win this game. And, again, the defense can always bail out Sam Darnold. But, again, you're going to need that offensive line to play better. And they've already given up 3 sack lunches. Not ideal to win a game against the Rams. And both teams are on the road right now. And we got Sheamus and Braun Breaker face-to-face talking shit. And another sack lunch there by the Rams. Darnold incomplete to Jay Jetta. 4th down. They're going to have to punt. Yeah, but I'm hoping that we can end up doing freestyle streams or food streams sooner than later. You know, I would rather do that than a shitty NBA game or NHL game. So. One more like to 20. Let's get there, baby. And then maybe we can hit the algorithm. You never know. You might go from 11 to 110 to 511 to 1,000. Like, you know, numbers get crazy as of late, so you never know. Vikings with the punt. Darnold, and I don't want to say Darnold looks bad. It's really the offensive line that looks bad, and it shows you can have a really good quarterback, you know, for this particular season. Great wide receivers in Addison and Jetta. Hawkinson, you got Aaron Jones, but if your offensive line stinks or they play bad, it doesn't matter. You know, you have to have good offensive line to have those pieces shine. You know, it's just like a bunch of fucking Ferraris and Lambos with no gas in it. Like Jetta and Addison look great, parked. You know, but again, if you got no gas from the offensive line, they're never going to be able to get into their routes and catch touchdowns. And that's what you're getting. You're getting a lot of shiny pieces that are amazing, you know, when they end up having time. But again, defense for the Rams is underrated. And, you know, that offensive line for the Vikings here today is not looking good. Flag on the play. STL in the building. What's good, brother? And that obviously scoop and score fumble, you know, if the Vikings lose, they're going to be bitching and moaning and crying about that particular play. You know, and again, it was close. Could have went either way. Gunther with the belt, walking down in a suit, looking very dapper, with the gold around his shoulder. 10-3 Rams. Vikings get the ball back after the penalty. Handoff up the gut. Aaron Jones, minimal gain. Looked like a flop there by the punter for the Vikings. Flop job. Looked like LeBron James out there. STL with a $5. Appreciate you, my guy. Doing good, man. How are you? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for photos. And I got you. We're at 35, 65 to go. Captain's taking care of the likes. Sarah's got the donos. Appreciate the two of you for stepping up. And then Jetta there with the little screen. Shotgun set. Darnold. Pressure. Intercepted. Did he get that? Oh, my. Oh, my. And again, that's the last thing that you want to see, right? Darnold, you know, obviously the offensive line is playing bad. Darnold now throwing the pick. The defense is doing everything they can to keep them in it. And really that's been the, you know, even though they have Aaron Jones and Darnold and Jetta and Addison and Hawkinson, again, it's about the offensive line, the defensive line, Darnold, and obviously, you know, making sure the play calling is going to be smooth. And, you know, that's why I think a lot of us were feeling after they got punked by the Lions that, you know, even though that the Vikings we know are the better team with the, you know, better record, who's been playing more confident ball as of late? Who do we trust more? Whether you like the Rams or not, you know, they're the team that you can kind of trust a little bit more at this point of the season. And again, every once in a while, you're going to have a Fugazi fake team that has 12, 13, 14 wins. They might have that win total, but they're not playing their best ball right now. And if that's the case, sometimes a 10-17 like the Rams or the Buccaneers could beat a team like the Vikings. We weren't able to beat the Commandos, but unless the Vikings end up getting another defensive touchdown, I don't see them winning this game. Like, they're going to need a special teams touchdown, a pick six, a fumble for a touchdown. They're going to need something extra from defense or special teams, or otherwise they have no shot in this game. David Freese. Nice choice. We got the Miz. They're on Monday Night Raw. And it's so cool to be able to watch Monday Night Raw at the same time as everyone else in the Midwest and the East Coast, man. You guys, get it at 5. I would have to wait until 8, to watch it. And it's just awesome now that not only do I get it at the same time as everyone else in the Midwest and the East Coast, but we can all watch it together on the same platform. Fucking awesome, man. Can't wait for Netflix to pick up SmackDown and NXT. And when that happens, we can end up doing NXT and SmackDown live streams down the road one day as well. (10-3) Rams. Appreciate you. Is it baseball season yet? I can't wait. And normally I'm not itching for baseball like this early. Like usually like college football and the NFL got me content enough. But I think it's just a matter of fact, if you love NASCAR or you love baseball, you can't wait for it to get started up for the Daytona 500 and the beginning of obviously spring training baseball. And I'll do some spring training maybe with Mariners at some point. Flag on the play. Great play here by Kyron Williams following his blockers. What a stud. Obafemi, NXT champion there with the NXT belt ringside. We're at 35. I agree. They should be on Monday Night Raw. And we got Gunther coming out. Stafford avoiding the sack lunge, incomplete. One sec here. 10-3 Rams so far in firm control. Third down and 15, not enough. And then there's the punt. All right, Vikings, you get the ball back. Can you do anything? Is it a disadvantage for a warm weather team coming to Philly? Yeah. I mean, the only warm weather team that has ever been able to go into Philadelphia or a cold weather team and win is Tampa. Way back in the day with Rondé Barber on Donovan McNabb, but it's like we feel comfortable, going up and playing up there. But most teams, like, the Niners, they can't win there. The Niners can't win in cold weather. But again, I feel like, whether it's the Chargers or the Raiders or a good team, like normally the Niners, they can't do it. I really feel, and then the Jags and the Dolphins, we can't even talk about them. I really feel like Tampa is the only warm weather team that can win in warm or cold weather, and they've proven it, in the last 20 to 30 years, but nobody else, for whatever reason, can't win, so, but, regardless on whoever wins this game, again, you would think that the Rams would probably be able to keep the game closer than the Vikings against, the Eagles. The Eagles didn't really look that good against the Packers. The throwing was a little off there for Jalen, but again, the defense is still amazing. But again, either team that wins, Vikings or Rams, I would be shocked if either one would beat Philadelphia. And then the Commandos are an intriguing team, to beat Tampa, but I don't see them doing enough to beat Detroit. Detroit is just on another level. There's 5 teams that can go all the way. The Lions, the Eagles, right? The Bills, the Ravens, or the Chiefs. And then obviously Bills and Ravens are going to play probably the best game in the playoffs, over the weekend. And I would assume Buffalo will win at home because they're at home. It's so 50-50. If the game was in Baltimore, then you could probably pencil in Lamar. But again, Lamar on the road against Josh Allen, a lot would have to happen. I mean, both teams have offense. They don't have defense. It's going to be high scoring, but usually home field advantage is the key. So I would assume Buffalo will find a way to win that game, even if it's only by 1, 2, or 3. So, and the Chiefs are going to beat the shit out of the Texans. They're terrible. So, more than likely, we're going to get Chiefs-Bills AFC Championship game. I think the Commandos will play well against Detroit, but just not enough. Too much Detroit. So you'll get the Lions, and then obviously if the Eagles play like they did against the Green Bay Packers, then the game's going to be a hell of a lot closer between the Rams or the Vikings, but they should be able to win. I mean, it would be a huge upset for the Vikings or Rams to beat Philadelphia. Philadelphia's defense is really what's leading them, in their minds to the promised land, the NFC Championship game against the Lions. And then in their eyes, they hope that they can beat Detroit. And if they get to the, Super Bowl, you're going to be going against the Chiefs in a rematch or possibly Buffalo. But I definitely think there is a huge disadvantage for warm weather teams playing in cold weather. Cold weather teams can play anywhere, but warm weather teams, for whatever reason, maybe it's just coaching and whatnot, but, we find a way to get it done, but for whatever reason, no other, team that's warm weather has been able to figure it out. Yeet. 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 First down and 10. Darnold, little check down. And it shows you, you can have all of these amazing pieces, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. But if your offensive line stinks, it doesn't matter that you're 14-3. You look like a 3-14 team. You don't look good. And we've seen how great the Minnesota defense has been all year. That's been what's carrying them to that 14-3 record. If the Vikings didn't have an elite defense, they would have been the same record as the Rams, 10-7. They would have gotten in, but, they definitely got an additional 3-4 wins based off that defense alone. Yeet. Yeah, drone cannon's fucking sweet. Second down at 9. Akers. And again, I think that another thing that's been overlooked is the Rams defense. Everyone thought, Aaron Donald retired. This defense is going to stink. But they've actually been better than people anticipated. And then the draft picks that they've gotten, they've hit. Sean McVay is a guru. He's one of the most intelligent coaches and play callers as far as young coaches in this league, and they already got a Super Bowl. He doesn't miss on draft picks. He can find great value in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round. Guys like Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Jared Verse, and it shows. Again, people thought the Rams were going to fall off tremendously without Aaron Donald. Not so fast. Donald towards the sideline. Hawkinson, first down, Vikings. They're lucky there. Move the chains. Odin is sick to his stomach. He's like, they moved to SmackDown, stupid. All right, brother. If you want any photos before you go, let me know. Or if you want them at halftime or if you come back, let me know. Cam Akers, 26 yards, rumbling and bumbling. Finally, a good play that doesn't come back with a penalty. First down, Vikings. Good blocking up front, and that's probably the first, blocking assignment where the Vikings actually got a hat on a hat, helmet on a helmet. Akers with a big fucking game, looking like Adrian Peterson down that sideline. First down and 10. Darnold, good protection. Little check down with the screen. Oliver with the catch. Minimal gain. Ball came out. Rams say they have it. Wow, Vikings with the fumble. Holy fuck. And you can't afford for that to happen. Now they're going to say his knee was down, but Jesus Christ. Minnesota playing terrible, and I had a feeling they were going to play terrible. The only way Minnesota was going to have a good chance to win this game is if they were at home. And even if they were at home, there was no guarantee that they would win. But that's the type of team that needs the crowd to help them win, because they got a 14-3 record, but it feels like a fugazi 14-3. His knee is done. He's lucky, barely. He done. Captain is like, yes, please. 35, 65 to go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help your boy out. Let's hit the algorithm, baby. We're almost there. Are we at 20? Yeah, there we go. We're at 21 now. Nice. 9 more to go to be able to get to 30. We're at 21 now, Captain. There we go. Let them know. Yeet. Yeet. What's the difference between Raw and SmackDown? Monday Night Raw is going to appeal to a bigger audience, and usually you have your best guys there. SmackDown is kind of the B show, but you still have to have some of the A wrestlers there, like LA Knight, yeah. So that way you want to watch SmackDown. So that's how it always works. You're still going to have some guys that should be on Raw, but they have to make the SmackDown show still worth watching. So they're going to have to spread some of the superstars out, so that way that, after Raw is done, you're looking forward to the other guys on NXT and SmackDown. So, but I feel like, it may not necessarily be a B show, maybe A for Raw, A- for SmackDown, and then NXT is kind of the C show, obviously, developmental and whatnot. So, but I think that, to me, that's what it is. In the back in the day, Raw was A, SmackDown was B, but there was a reason why, maybe Stone Cold back in the day was on Raw, but then you'd have Rock on his own show on SmackDown, just so that way that you would be tuning in to SmackDown. So, everything is strategic, based on who the announcers are and who the wrestlers are, and obviously doing like the draft and having guys go from one show to the other, so that way you can kind of keep it fresh. Valkyria and Dakota Kai. Let's go. Akers, loss of 2. Third down and 7 at the Rams 38. Nice tackle by Lake. Third down and 7. Oh my, fumble for a touchdown. Holy shit. Oh, Verse. Oh, I told you guys, man, Jared Verse is on a whole nother level from Florida State. He had one fumble for a touchdown that got called back. This one won't. Rumbling, bumbling, the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown, Ramley with a somersault to boot. Woo! Oh my. Chief will Chief in the building. And again, what did I say? I told y'all, the Vikings are kind of a fugazi team. Yes, they're 14-3, but again, I just don't really feel like the focus is there. I don't trust their offensive line. And again, one team has 14 wins, another team has 10, but again, I felt like, this might be the scenario where the team with less wins is playing better ball as of late. And again, we had a fumble for a touchdown that got called back for the Viking defense. Then you get another one here, but this one actually goes through. Kick is up and good. 17-3 Ramley. See, that's why, Captain, when you talk about not being good at picking, because when you pick, right, since you're a Hawk fan, you're picking, not with your heart, you're picking with this up here. So if you're already a Seahawk fan and you hate the Rams, then you're not going to pick them. You have to push that aside and put your fandom to the side and just think logically, who you actually think is going to win the game with no affiliation to the teams that are in your division that you're playing. And I feel a lot of people that bet and they bet wrong. That's why, because you're betting, up here, I hate this team. Fuck them. They're in the division. Fuck them. They made the playoffs over me. Fuck them. But again, if you can take that off the table and just think, okay, who's been playing better ball as of late, and don't get mixed up with records, because a lot of people, 14-3, they're going to win. But you have to watch the games. You have to follow the injury report. You have to, you read the articles. You got to kind of get a sense of what's going on. And even then, sometimes we're going to get the pick wrong. But, 17-3, Ramley. You never can let that personal feeling about a team take over and do a bet, because if you do it like that, most of the time you're going to lose. Big play by Verse. Because I would assume that's why you picked the Vikings, right? Because obviously the Rams are in your division and you didn't want to feel that they could win this game. So. Yeah, Verse is amazing. Verse was going to be a good player on any team in the NFL. I mean, he was NFL ready, right? And again, and the main thing about it is offensive line and defensive line. Who do you trust the most? So, yeah, the defense overall for Minnesota is good with Van Ginkel, with their secondary and their linebackers. But as far as O-line and D-line, who do you trust more? And definitely for me, it's the Rams, and they're proving it. This game is in State Farm here in the Cardinal Stadium, but regardless if this was being played at SoFi or not, it's almost it doesn't really matter. And again, we already know Kevin O'Connell came from Sean McVay, in that, coaching tree where they ended up winning the Super Bowl with Stafford. Then he got the job for Minnesota. But don't for a second think that Kevin O'Connell is smarter than Sean McVay, because he's not. He's had a great, run in this short career, to make Minnesota relevant. But again, until they improve that offensive line and defensive line, you can win 14 games, but that doesn't mean you're going to win against a 10-7 team. 12 noon, you know what time it is. Time for another sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Offensive line, Rams. Defensive line, Rams. Sam Darnold looking not very good. 5 sack lunches for the Rams. Vikings with 0. That's not going to win you a game. Again, you can't get enamored, by Jetta, Addison, Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, and just thinking that's enough. And a lot of people that watch football or bet, they look at the star players, but they're not looking at the O-line and the D-line and the defense and the coaching and the play calling. That's what fucking matters. But again, we get enamored by quarterback, running back, wide receiver, and tight end because everyone on TV pushes that down our throats saying that's so fucking important, but it's not. O-line and D-line are much more important than any fucking stars that you have at running back or wide receiver. Because, again, you might have Justin Jefferson, but if Darnold doesn't have time, he's never going to get the ball. He's never going to be able to get into the fucking end zone, right? He's not going to be able to be that guy that puts up 12 receptions, 180 yards, and 2 tutties and helps him win if Darnold can't get the ball fucking to him, right? And again, at the end of the day, people are going to be like, Darnold sucks. But it really is the offensive line sucks. Again, just like the same thing with our Seahawks. Geno Smith sucks if they were playing in this game right now. Right? But it's the offensive line that sucks. right? And you got to think all those good things that Gino and Sam did, they never got credit for. Bad offensive line, they still put up 300-400 yards. But then as soon as they start playing bad, always pointing the finger. But again, real fans know what the problem is. Casual fans, they do not, unfortunately. I feel bad for Sam, but again, offensive line is super important. But, the Rams, could make it interesting. The Rams are going to play the Eagles. So the Rams are going to play the Eagles. And then Lions, obviously got the Commandos. And the way the Commandos and Rams have been playing, they're going to have a chance. Like, no one's going to give them a chance. But if their O-line and their D-line play well, they're going to have a chance to make the game interesting. The Commandos versus the Lions, where it could be a little bit closer than people think. Jaden Daniels has like a career day. The defense plays better than expected. Who knows? A couple bad interceptions by Goff. You never know. And then obviously with the Rams, not a lot of people are going to pick them against Philly, right? But you never know. And obviously that's going to be harder, to win in Philadelphia rather than winning in a dome. The Commanders playing in Detroit in a dome, they have a better chance of winning that. But again, if the Rams play like this, they're going to have a shot, especially if they get sack lunches on Jalen. The Eagles didn't really look that good against the Packers, and again, the throwing game, the passing game was, a little suspect, but Dakota Kai making her way down into the ring. But again, we'll have to wait and see. But it's not all Darnold. We have to remember it's that offensive line. 5 fucking sack lunches. That is pathetic. But that's what happens sometimes. Shows you how important, that position truly is. Yeah, I mean, Jaden is great. Baker put up top 5 stats, but, he didn't get enough throws in and then had that costly fumble and whatnot. So, but again, it's like even though Stafford is an old man, right, you trust him more because he has Kyron, Cooper Kupp, and Puka Nacua. Now, if he didn't have those 3 guys with him, we wouldn't be trusting Stafford either. He would be in the same kind of boat, as, Sam Darnold. But again, he's shown that even though he's old as fuck, that as long as you've got playmakers, Kyron, Puka, and Cooper Kupp, and that offensive line protects them, even an old man like Darnold, Matthew Stafford, can still get it done even at this age. Rams, Eagles, opening betting line. I would assume Eagles will be favored by 3.5. I would assume. It could be higher than that, but, based on what we're seeing here today, beating up on a 14-3 team, you could say, Eagles, by 6 or something like that, or 7, but, the Vegas won't do that. So, if they think it's going to be more than 3, then they'll go 3.5 probably. And it might go up higher afterwards, but I would assume Eagles would be the favorite by 3.5. But that doesn't mean that the Eagles can't win against the Rams by 10 or more or 14 or more. It could easily happen. Well, it's already set, Chief. Commanders are the lower seed, and they're playing the Lions. So the winner of this game plays the Eagles. It's already set. I mean, the Commanders going against the Eagles would have been probably more interesting and enticing, being an NFC East matchup. But again, you're not going to get that unless the Commanders upset the Lions and then the Eagles beat the Rams, and then you end up getting a crazy NFC East showdown. 17-3 Ramley. 4th down and 2. Kevin O'Connell looking in disgust. Well, we already know the Rams are winning. There is no scenario where the Vikings are winning this game. Again, they don't have an answer. Obviously 5 sack lunches in the first half. Make it 6, 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for another sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. And it shows you how important offensive line and defensive line, Kobe Turner, Jared Verse, are better than everyone else on Minnesota. Period. You got Andrew Van Ginkel and you got some of those other guys. And yeah, it's worked for you bailing Sam Darnold out. But again, it's about who's playing the best football right now. And even though they're 10-7, they're playing like the Rams had 14 wins rather than, the Vikings. Athletic bodies. Yeah, but goddamn well, it's not like you're going to lose to the Texans. They're terrible. There's no scenario where they lose that game. And obviously, Sean McVay is very intelligent when he has a lead in the second half. They're going to bleed the clock and run the football. They'll still go to Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, but, Vikings, tough to say it, but, they're not coming back. The real question is, obviously if it goes through, the Chiefs and Arrowhead, then you're going to probably be playing Josh Allen again in the Bills. Bills are at home against the Ravens, and it's not like the Ravens don't have a chance, but again, when a team is 50-50, right, where they're equally great, it may come down to home field advantage. And, it's like, yeah, one guy's got Lamar and Derrick Henry, but again, it's like they got Josh Allen and James Cook, so there is no disadvantage for Buffalo with like an RB3 at running back. They actually got a guy that's on the same level as Henry. So even though Henry's up there at the top with Saquon, but we know James Cook, can throw up 100, 150 yards and 2 or 3 touchdowns also. It's not like he doesn't have that ability. So we're at 35, 65 to go. But again, the narrative for casuals will be like Sam Darnold stinks, but it's not him, it's that offensive line. And it shows you how great Kobe Turner and Jared Verse are, Again, not a lot of people recognize Durant as well. It's called good scheme and athletic players. I mean, just when everyone thought, the Rams are going to stink on defense with Aaron Donald gone, hey, not so fast. Not when you got great evaluators in the building. There's certain teams that always draft well and certain teams that draft shitty every year. There's a reason. You don't have the right evaluators in the building. Handoff up the gut. First down, Rams. Reefer with the dono. Dakota Kai in the ring. $35 dono from Reefer. Appreciate you. Obviously double dipping here with Monday Night Raw and the Rams and the Vikings. Appreciate you, Reefer. $35 dono. Here we go, baby. Thank you so much for your support. And again, we're going to continue to do Monday Night Raw every single Monday. Again, we got the Natty next week, but we're going to still watch Monday Night Raw at the same time, and I'll cover both. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, a little Cactus Jack bang bang. And then I'm not sure we'll get Reefer in the building or if it was a drive-by dono, but if Reefer does come in, even though he's watching Raw right now as well, I can get some photos of some wrestlers for him when he's ready, or some Saints players if he's ready. Touchdown, Rams. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And that's what happens when you get beat by a team that's got 4 less losses, right, than yourself. And again, some teams have a great regular season, right, but they're a fugazi team. And this is exactly what you're getting right now. And, Sam Darnold is going to end up getting all the blame. Kevin O'Connell, coach of the year? No. And again, offensive line fucking matters. And if you're a Seahawk fan, this should be a kind of a rude awakening. Like, you even if you end up getting to a 14-3 record, and the Minnesota Vikings, have a similar season as the Seahawks in the future, if you guys get better. But again, if the offensive line plays like that, even a 14-3 team can get their ass kicked by a 10-7 team in the playoffs. 24-3 Ramley. Britt in the building. How are you? Love you. Miss you. How are you? What's good, Britt? Good to see you in the room. Miss you. You're sick again? No, stop it. Is Colton sick? Are both of you sick or you're just sick? Oh, I'm sorry. Sending hugs your way, even if that means I get sick. Get better. Yeah, but the thing is that if, you guys ended up playing the Vikings, right, and you made the playoffs, it might be 24-3 Vikings in the same scenario. Again, you can't have the second worst offensive line and thinking that, you're going to be able to win games in crunch time. Eventually, you're going to get exposed by good coaches and good teams. So, this should be a real rude awakening, again, for Minnesota, Seattle, and every other team that's got a bad O-line. You've got to improve that. Otherwise, you can end up, having this amazing 14-3 year, and it's all for nothing. And you're getting your ass kicked at halftime, 24-3. And even if you got that fumble for a touchdown, right, you're still down 24-10, and you're still losing. So, oh no, food poisoning. What did you eat, Britt? Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better. Vikings get the ball in the second half, but that might not be enough. Dakota Kai getting her foot caught up. Oh! Oh! New Intercontinental Champion, and you kind of knew it was going to go this way. Probably something from Saturday when Colton and one of the relatives were giving you a hard time. I'm sorry about that. We got WWE Monday Night Raw on Netflix here in San Jose on. Brand new Intercontinental Champion for the women's side. An ass whooping, 24-3 by the Rams. And I would like to say that I'm surprised, but again, I kept telling y'all, if people just listen to my takes, and then, again, I'm not going to be right 100% of the time, but again, I usually have a pretty good pulse on things. But again, I did not predict 24-3, but I definitely was leaning Rams in this game over the Vikings because I don't know, I just didn't really trust that offensive line. And, I just thought who's going to be playing more motivated ball right now. And, again, you might have more superstar players, to some, like Jetta, Addison, Hawkins, and Aaron Jones. But again, if the offensive line, Sam Darnold, and the defense don't show up, then this is what you get. And you get a big 24-3 ass whooping. Reefer, what's good, brother? What do you want to do for photos? Yeah, I know some of us were pulling for Dakota Kai, but again, it's not a surprise that they ended up going this direction for the first, women's IC championship. But I think that Dakota Kai will, at some point, she'll end up winning it, but maybe it'll start a feud and then they'll have to go that route. She'll have to pay her dues before they give it to her. So you got anybody that you want to do photo-wise? Yeah, I appreciate that. It's tough, and again, I knew that game could go down to the wire 50-50. Baker with that fumble kind of late, but it was a game where we really weren't able to get Bucky Irving going, and the passing, by Baker, we didn't throw very many passes in that game. It was a very uncharacteristic type of game. Bobby Wagner and the defense for Washington played better than expected. Our offense didn't play as good as I thought, and it ended up going down to whoever had the ball last. And they even doinked the field goal, but it went in. So, it's okay. I already knew that the Bucs were pretenders, not contenders. Even if we won, against, the Commanders, we were going to definitely lose against the Eagles, more than likely in the next round, or Detroit, based off the seeding. So it was cool to win the NFC South for 4 years in a row, but it's not like Tampa was going to overachieve and go all the way to the NFC Championship game. It's just, we had too many holes, obviously on the defense and injuries. Not having Chris Godwin definitely hurt, but it is what it is. Again, fantasy football wasn't very kind to me. It was kind for you though, so at least you won the championship, so I can live vicariously through you. The Bucks lost, the Oregon Ducks lost. Kind of sucked, sport-wise, and again, it's not like every team that you have is going to be a champion, but at least you and me have something that we share in NASCAR. Daytona 500 coming up in February, and I am going to start doing NASCAR streams again this year in 2025. So that'll give me something to look forward to on Sundays, and that'll be hopefully a time where we can hang out together, as well as get some of the other fans of NASCAR together again. I did it for a couple years, took last year off, and I'm ready for us to be back on the NASCAR tip. So, and then we'll do March Madness in March, baseball in April till October, and then again, this week, I'll probably have to do college hoops on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then again, if we can get enough people where we can do food streams or freestyle streams, one or the other, freestyle, whatever photos people want to be able to do based off the donos, or if we just do something specific like food for like an hour to 2 hours, that would be good for my mental health, and I think good for a lot of other people's mental health. But we have to see what kind of crowd we're going to get before we really make it a regular thing. But I definitely would rather do like a food or a freestyle stream over a shitty NBA, NHL, or college hoop stream if possible. But it all depends on you guys if I can get enough people to show up. So. Yeah, and again, college football, Natty is on Monday, and then it's over. And then we got these NFL playoffs, and pretty soon it's going to be over. But again, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, there's no football. There's no NASCAR. There's no baseball. So I have to do something. It's either NBA, NHL, or college hoops. And the NHL is kind of boring right now. The NBA is terrible. College hoop is probably the best thing, but not a lot of people watch it. But I can always, do like Cooper Flag and do Duke, because that's something that I'm interested in. And I feel like the college game is better. So it's really, college hoops and maybe food or freestyle streams, I'm thinking. But again, it'll be up to you guys to see where we go with that. So, Reefer, you got a particular, no, like if WNBA, like if it was, like Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark, yeah, maybe, I would, lean that way, but I don't think I could enjoy enough of the women's. Now, if it's like March Madness, I'll watch some of the women's in March Madness, but you have to have the star power, and I don't think we have as much star power. I mean, you got Paige Buekas and you got Juju Watkins, so obviously I know the females that are good that are playing right now at USC and UConn, but there's not enough star power in the WNBA or in the women's side for, but you never know. Down the road there might be something, but. All right, I got you. Oh, yeah. Sami Zayn, one of my favorites. Sami Zayn, great in the ring, great on the mic. We need to be able to give some more appreciation for the Canadian wrestlers. They are incredible on the mic and incredible in the ring. Facts. Love me some Kevin Owens. Love me some Sami Zayn. And Sami got to go into superstardom, obviously, with the whole bloodline and that affiliation. And I'm so happy that they decided that route. Yeah, I turned on. I had that on for a little bit earlier too, for the Manning cast. And we got Miz and Sami Zayn battling it out. Yeah, they did. And they didn't even have water in the reservoir reserve in the pool. Lots of things ended up happening with the insurance being canceled, not having proper water. There's a lot of reasons why that definitely escalated much more than it should have, for sure. Prayers up for everybody in California that's being affected. And for me, it's like, I get it for a lot of like the celebrities, they're like losing their homes and, but what about the regular people? What about the people that are in the middle class and the lower class? What about all the animals, that got left behind? That breaks my heart, and I know some people actually love their pets like children and, they took them with them or dropped them off at least somewhere for them to be safe. Cats, dogs, horses, and whatnot. But those fires are devastating. For the animal life as well as the pets, and lots of people. They may end up being able to build another home, but all of the photographs and the memories and the personal items, those you can't get back. And prayers up. For everyone in California going through that. Oh yeah, she's one of the best female players that we've seen in quite some time. Sabrina Ionescu from Oregon. If we didn't have COVID, they would have won the Natty, put Oregon on the map, and she's very, very good as well. Angel Reese is more of like a rebounder, kind of a scrapper, but obviously. They tried to make it more of like a race thing. Angel Reese going against Caitlin Clark, and they try to, kind of pull you in a direction, one or the other and whatnot, but most people are smart enough not to believe a bunch of the bullshit. But one thing is for sure that they definitely were targeting Caitlyn, and they did kind of make it a race thing, to a certain degree. And there was a little bit of jealousy from the sisters that were in the WNBA that thought that Caitlyn was taking their shine. But if she's better than you, she's better than you, regardless if she's white or if she's black. So. Yeah, but no one is going out of their way to say, oh my God, I got to watch Angel Reese. Like Sabrina is more of a watch than Angel is. Sabrina can put up numbers like Caitlin Clark, and so. But Juju Watkins, that's in college right now, for the sisters is amazing. And Paige Bueckers, obviously representing, but with Paige, though, she grew up with like, black parents and whatnot. So she's got kind of a different perspective, and her upbringing is a little bit different. But obviously she's must-see TV too. All right, we got Rhea Ripley with the belt. Rams. 24-3 Rams. All right, baby, here we go. All right, we're at 70, 30 to go. She had a good run, though, Britt. I think she had the belt a little bit longer than most people were anticipating, going with the, with Dom and everything else, so. And complete. Not the start that they want. And you can have like one of the best offenses, during the regular season. But again, if you got amazing players like, like Turner and Verse and everyone else, again, they definitely impose their will. And it shows you how important offensive line truly is. Darnold on 2nd down and 10. Getting blasted. Wow, how did they catch that? How is that not picked off? Holy cow. Addison with the grab, saving Darnold. That was like in double, triple coverage. I don't know how the hell he fucking squeaked that football in there, but took a big fucking pop there, too. Turner right in his grill. But if you've already been sacked 5 times and gotten fucked up in the first half, you're going to be a little jittery, realizing that you can't hang on to the football as long as you did in the regular season. Not against this team. Yeah, but a lot of times the original person that has the belt ends up getting it back. I mean, if you go back and look at like Charlotte Flair and every other female that had a run, typically that's what happens. It'll usually go back to the person that had it, previously, and then they'll have to start a new feud. Sometimes they'll have a new female or male lined up for them to go against, but a lot of times they'll revert back to that past rivalry that they had. So. Darnold incomplete. The Naylor. They're going to have to punt again. Even easy throws. It's just right now he's seeing ghosts like he's on the Jets again. This might be like the most embarrassing game that we've seen from a team that's 14-3. So always realize, records, don't necessarily mean anything in the playoffs. You can have a 14-win team going against a 10-win team, and people that are, casuals will say, oh, the Vikings are going to win because they have 14 wins. They're the better team, right? But again, diehards and people that actually, kind of go through each position group and whatnot, you can, and anything can happen in football or in any sport, right? Where the Vikings could have ended up having a great game plan. But again, it just felt like, every year you always have one team that isn't as good as their record once they hit the playoffs. And that team this year is the Minnesota Vikings, unfortunately. Yeah, and also too, I think with belts and title reigns, also it depends on if people get injured and they have to drop the belt. They like to be able to give individuals time for their run. But I don't think that means that Liv is never going to have a belt ever again. I mean, she'll have another opportunity at some point, but again, it's all about storylines and build up, for certain pay-per-views and whatnot. And, Liv had a great run and definitely it took her to another plateau that I think a lot of people didn't know if she would be able to ever get to. So hopefully Ohio State and Notre Dame isn't going to be like this. We'll have Monday Night Raw on Netflix next week number 3. And just as I say that, then they bring up the graphic. That's creepy. Ohio State, Notre Dame. My ESP is just like on another level sometimes. It's weird. And like the ESP that I have, like my family members have it too, where it's like I'll think of something and then like they'll say it and it's like creepy. But now Nia coming down to the ring. She looking like a jungle jaguar. Okay. Nia on Raw, huh? Yeah, Chargers should go back to San Diego, Rams to St. Louis. I think that, obviously if it wasn't all money driven, I think that's where it would be, better suited. St. Louis got ripped off when they left. And, San Diego deserves to have a team, in my opinion. But, it's all about money, unfortunately. Big tackle there by the Vikings. Nice to see the defense actually show up. Kyron Williams there with a minimal game. Yeah, well, it's not like they're going to be able to come back, but I just like to be able to have football in that town. And regardless if it's more baseball and hockey, you can't tell me that if the Rams never left, that it's not like the fans are not going to show up. Like at least Rams fans in St. Louis actually cared about the team and showed up. The Rams in Los Angeles, they don't even have fans. Charger fans and Rams fans, they're usually barely any that are there. Usually you'll get more fans of the other team that show up in the stadium at SoFi. So I feel for that reason, I want to be able to see, teams and cities that actually appreciate what they have, Like LA is a Dodger town, Lakers aren't really relevant anymore, even if they have LeBron and, Anthony Davis, but LA is Dodgers, it's not fucking football, or basketball. I mean, people will still like go to things, to sporting events, but it doesn't hold the same kind of value as the Dodger baseball does for people that live in California. Oh, Bailey. Buka. Yeah, but the thing is that St. Louis will never get the Rams back. So even if you don't want them, I know a lot of St. Louis fans would love to have their team back. And they were very hurt when they left. Going back to the Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Marshall Falk era. It was fun. Isaac Bruce, I remember. Aeneas Williams. Hunter Wall with the catch. First down, Rams. It's bad for the Vikings when you get random no-namers making plays on you. It's really bad then. Now Bailey and Nia going at it. Oh, Ripley. Kick to the boob. And she falls out of the ring. I think she was trying to go for her face, but just couldn't get her leg high enough. Ripley with the boot to the boob. She flies out of the ring. And now Ripley and Bailey. Bailey's trying to pick up the belt. Minimal gain there. Saturday, Texans and Chiefs. Chiefs. Commandos and Lions. Lions. Rams and Eagles. Eagles. Ravens and Bills. Could go either way, but I think since Buffalo is at home, I gotta go with Buffalo slightly. And if the Ravens do win, that means that Lamar and Henry have to have an amazing game, and again, they have to pray that Josh Allen has a terrible game, and I don't know what the chances of that is to happen. Shotgun set on 2nd down and 9. Towards the sideline, incomplete. But that's going to be the best game in the playoffs until we get Lions and Eagles. That one will be good. Bills and Ravens is going to be great. And then if the Bills win, then we'll get Bills Chiefs. And then that one will be good as well. So Bolger, Trent Green. He said rookie Ryan Fitzpatrick, Sam Bradford. Yes, Finley. Nice name drops right there. I mean, I remember like the Los Angeles Rams with Jim Everett and Flipper Anderson. I mean, I'm an OG. I'm old school. Going down the sideline. Wow. Holy cow. Cooper Kupp was held on that play, and then he still caught it. Where's the flag? And so they would decline it anyways. First down, Rams. Look at this. Look at Cooper Kupp. Seth and Drew. Hell yeah. And that's always good that we have Monday Night Raw to kind of fall back on. So then if the football game ends up being like this, at least we have another thing that we can kind of pay attention to at the same time. Big first down there. And again, if the offensive line was terrible for the Rams, Stafford would be looking like Darnold. He wouldn't be able to get the ball to Puka. He wouldn't be able to get it to Cooper Kupp. He wouldn't be able to get it to any random no-name player, you know. And obviously having Kyren Williams definitely helps a hell of a lot too, because he's a top 3, top 4 back. He's a hell of a lot better than Aaron Jones is. Kyren is the man. Yeah, but Seattle will get a team at some point. You know, I would assume that you'll get an NBA team in Vegas and you'll get an NBA team in Seattle, and then we'll get the Sonics back. So even though it's more of a football and baseball team, but if the Sonics come back, people will show up. It's not like people are going to be like, fuck them. You know, they love the I-5 rivalry with Portland, with the Blazers, and then obviously it makes those Laker matchups interesting too, because that's what it was about. Sonics, Blazers, Lakers. It was, you know, that I-5 rivalry. Super fun. The Gary Payton, you know, Sean Kemp, Detlef Schrempf, right? That old school era. First down and 10. Man in motion. Blitz coming. And a timely blitz, loss of 2 by Kyren Williams. Good play there by the Vikings. Yeah, but the thing is Finley, right? Who was at home in that game? Baltimore. So that's the only reason that they won, right? If Buffalo was at home, the same thing would have happened in the opposite score. So again, yeah, you can be the Ravens and you can win at home and you can destroy the Bills in week 4, but that doesn't mean that that's going to happen right now in the playoffs, especially the way that Buffalo has been playing, and they ended up having the biggest beatdown against Denver. Only gave up that opening touchdown to Bo Nix and Troy Franklin. Denver's got an amazing defense, but it didn't even fucking matter. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool that the Ravens ended up winning at home, but that's what you're supposed to do when you're one of the best teams in the NFL and the AFC. Chiefs should win at home when they play good teams. The same thing goes for the Ravens and the Bills. There's no excuse to lose at home when you're one of the top 3 teams in the AFC. So that's why I'm leaning a little bit towards Buffalo rather than, you know, it's not like I'm a Lamar or Derrick Henry hater. I love those guys, but it's just like they don't have the same defense. You know, Ravens don't have a defense. Buffalo doesn't have a defense. And I think the crowd will be the deciding factor. And that's why I think I have to lean slightly to Buffalo. But again, if the Ravens do win, I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, they got an amazing team this year. But again, it would be much better for them if they were at home and then they would be able to beat Buffalo. But if they're going to be on the road, I don't see any scenario of them winning that game unless Josh Allen has like the worst game of the season. And I don't think that will happen. But we'll find out. Cool kid in the building. Now, if they still had McDonald and they had that same type of defensive scheme, that would give me a little bit more confidence. But, you know, losing McDonald and that defense, it definitely is not the same. Street fight. Damian Priest and Finn Balor. This should be good. $24-3 Ramley. And I think this is something that, if you do bet on games or you watch games, you always want to make sure that you're looking, at O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. So if there's any scenario where you get a team that's got so many more wins than the other, you look at those other categories, and if they're not good there, that's why you lost. It's always O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. And again, it's like, sometimes the master becomes the student becomes the master, right? But when you're dealing with Sean McVay, you're never going to be on the top side of him, when he actually is the genius. Kevin O'Connell learned from him as the apprentice, but Kevin O'Connell will never be the mind that Sean McVay is. It's never going to happen. He can always end up being a good team. They can end up winning the division, but when it comes down to, clutch scenarios and just being on this next level, there's not very many that are going to be on that Sean McVay level or that John Gruden level. Facts. Yeah, but they already got one Super Bowl in '99 against the Titans, even though you had that reach and that was short, but that was the beginning of the dynasty. Patriots won those first 3 Super Bowls all by 3. And who knows how much questionable things that were going on in that particular era, Uh-oh. 12 noon. You know what time it is? Time for a Viking sack lunch. Yum, 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 yum. A little bit too little, too late by Andrew Van Ginkel, one of their best players. 6 sack lunches to 1, but they'll take it. We're at 70, 30 to go. Yeah, Ray Phoenix will join Penta soon. And that's why they had him off TV, for a while, because everyone already knew that both those guys would be jumping ship at some point. Field goal is up and good by Cardi, 27-3 Rams. And if I'm a Viking fan, I'm fucking embarrassed. It's one thing for, Denver to play Buffalo, right, on the road, and they only put up 7, which they could have, even though Bo Nix is a rookie, that you just felt they were going to put up more than fucking 7. And that was a good outing by Buffalo's defense to hold them to that, right? But 27-3 when you have 14 fucking wins, every year you're going to have a Fugazi fake team that isn't as good as their record. And unfortunately, Minnesota, that is the team that they are here this year. It's Diffie time. $30 to go. Where are we at on the likes? If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Looks like we need 7 more to get to 30. We're at 23. Good start. Here we go. Yeah. The only game that was good. All the other games were, pretty one-sided. So, and people want to complain about the college football playoff first round, how it was such big wins, right? And then obviously looking at some of the other matchups, like obviously those same fans that bitched and moaned about the college football playoff first round being bad, look at the NFL playoffs, that we're getting right now. One good game out of 6? But again, people want to give the NFL extra credit. They don't want to point it out or single them out. But the NFL playoffs in this first round is just as bad as the college football playoff first round with blowouts. At least we had one good game with the Bucks and the Commandos. And we got Damian Priest with the kendo stick to Finn Balor into the gut. Big shot to the back. Big shot to the knee. Another shot to the back. Another shot to the knee. Another shot to the back as he looks to the crowd. You know what? I was just about to say the same thing. Like Judgment Day used to be like the coolest faction in WWE, and then now it's like, you know, with Priest and Ripley and, you know, and obviously Liv getting added. I don't know. It doesn't have the same type of feel that it had before. Like, it was such a cool faction with the colors, with the black and the purple, kind of like that old school Undertaker vibe, and or like the Brood, you know, the Darkness, you know, the Ministry of Darkness, that kind of vibe. And I don't know. It kind of doesn't feel like the same aura is gone. Decent return here by the Vikings. And obviously, before the stream is up, if there's something else that you want to see besides Scarlet, based off your Dono Reaper, let me know. Okay, we got Damian Priest setting up a table here. And hopefully the Vikings can get at least a touchdown before this game is over. But, man, they are just getting their ass whooped. Darnold pass incomplete to Jetta. 3rd down and 5. I think Damian Priest is more likable than Finn, but it depends on like how long you've watched Finn. Did you watch him in like Bullet Club? Did you watch him, you know, before, you know, this time period as of late? Like, how long have you been watching him? You know, and again, I think that will determine like your, like Lenny D loves Bullet Club and loves Finn. You know, and I think it's because of what Finn did prior to coming to WWE and the early stages of WWE. So again, I think with Finn Balor, some people don't really care for him, you know, that much. But again, it really depends on how long you've been watching certain guys. Oh, big garbage can. Shot to the head to Finn Balor by Damian Priest. Oh. Jetta, Addison, and everyone else frustrated. But instead of getting mad at Sam Darnold, they should be talking shit to the fucking offensive line. And if you're the Vikings, you know, you better be drafting offensive line with your first 3 or 4 picks. You got to fix that problem. Get some free agents in there as well. Nice catch by Naylor. 1st down, Vikings. I feel like I barely even said that here today. Reversal. Into the guardrail there. First down and 10. Man in motion. Shotgun set. Darnold looking at Aaron Jones, and he still can't even do little screen passes because he's so nervous seeing ghosts that he's going to get sacked. He doesn't even have enough confidence to be able to plant his feet to make a normal throw. That's when you know that he's seeing ghosts and he does not feel comfortable. It's almost like me watching Joey Harrington when he got drafted from the Ducks to the Lions, where he just, you know, was so nervous he had happy feet. And he just couldn't end up making the normal plays, and that ended up, you know, ending Joey Harrington's career prematurely because the offensive line was so shitty. Indie wrestlers, NJPW, Lucha, nice. Yeah, I like watching a little bit of everything. Oh, look at this. Priest got Finn, picks him up. Oh, shit! Oh! Oh, baby! Oh, that was better than anything I've seen on this game tonight versus the Rams and Vikings, besides those defensive touchdowns, baby. That was sweet. That was sweet. A little risky, but you got to be able to pick up a guy and hold his weight. Priest has got the muscles to do that. Great execution there by Priest and Finn, putting on a show. Biggest bump of the night. That was fucking awesome. Yeah, they absolutely have lost traction. They're not the same faction without Priest and Ripley in the group anymore. Wow. I mean, I don't care if that's just mattresses underneath or, or whatnot, a little soft cushioning. Just the fact that you're up there that high, that was awesome. That was fucking awesome. Darnold scrambling, gambling, floater. Oh my God, they actually got a first down. First down, Vikings, move the chains. Darnold the nailer again. Who's your favorite wrestler, Finley? Touchdown, Vikings. TJ Hawkinson with a deep throw there for Sam Darnold. Short middle, Hawkinson, 26 yards. They're finally on the board. Nice, Minnesota. You got the bleeding to stop, but it took all the way to 5 minutes. And a missed tackle there. Good angle. Hawkinson diving in. Nice job by TJ there, but a little too late. But at least they got a touchdown finally. They can breathe a little bit easier. Finley, who are your favorite wrestlers, past or present? And look at the throw by Darnold. It was shitty. It was behind Hawkinson. He had to make a great athletic move to reach behind him. And normally that's an incomplete pass. Hawkinson reaches back. Throw obviously was terrible, underthrown. But the athleticism, Hawkinson ended up coming up big there. And great yak yards, diving into the end zone. Great job there. And now they're going to be going for a 2-point conversion, which is kind of stupid, but whatever. You're already down. I guess if you want to go for 2 to, make it 16 at that point, go ahead, I guess. But I would just take the extra point. It's not like you're coming back and winning this game. Drew, nice. We got something in common. We both love Drew. I know Sarah does too. Reefer's a big Drew guy. I'm a big Drew guy. Sarah's a big Drew guy. That's the best big man in the business right now, in the ring and on the mic. And terrible decision by the Vikings. Again, if you're dumb, you definitely continue to do more dumb things. And taking that point for the kick would have been the smart thing to do, especially if it took you this long to get your first touchdown. But again, dumb teams do dumb things. 27-9 Rams. We'll throw up some Drew while we're on a commercial break. $27-9 Rams. Now they got Finn on a stretcher. Damian Priest is like, hell no. Carlito taking a punch. Everyone getting the wrath of Priest here. Priest. He's like, let me take that neck brace off. Now this is kind of like Attitude Era, like Stone Cold Steve Austin type of shit right here. Conveniently rolls him right back into the ring. Oh, shit. And Priest is kind of like a poor man Scott Hall, and he'll never be Scott Hall, but obviously body shape and moveset is, mimicking Scott Hall, which is kind of cool, and they honor Scott Hall once in a while here and there, which is cool. $27-9 Rams. Oh! Carlito, little code breaker from behind. All right, now Finn recovers miraculously after being in a stretcher with a neck brace. 1, 2, and he kicks out. Oh my. Right. Yeah, and obviously we know, that was a terrible thing. We don't really necessarily know if there was foul play. Everyone just thinks that he got CTE and then, killed his wife and kids and whatnot. But there might have been foul play involved as well. But obviously the rabid Wolverine, Chris Benoit, obviously before all the tragedy, I loved watching him and Eddie and Dean Malenko and, that kind of era of wrestling. But obviously with him and Eddie and being best friends, I mean, oh, big roundhouse kick. Oh! Kyron Williams on 2nd down and 3. First down, Rams. And now we're getting a beat down here. Yeah. Odin loves the War Raiders. They need to figure out the name. They change their name so often, it's just sickening. Like, Viking Raiders, and then going back and forth with different names. Finn, Sling Blade. Yeah. JD is a good seller. I agree with that too as well. Big chair shot. Stafford going long, going deep, 1-on-1. Oh. And complete. Thought he had it. Oh, big chair shot by Finn. Another 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 chair shot. Oh, my. It's always nice where we can end up watching wrestling on the channel more often. It's always something I've wanted to do, but just being able to get everyone together. But now having Raw 4 Mondays in a month, including the PLE, 5 potential streams a month, that's awesome, man. Because again, wrestling is up there with me with college football and the NFL and NASCAR and baseball. I love it. And sometimes wrestling is number 1 for me. It runs deep. I still collect the accessories, the figures. I love vintage T-shirts, and current ones. It'll never be something that I get, sick and tired of, or I'll outgrow it. Like, this is a part of who I am, and it always will be. 1, 2. Finn with a kick out. Stafford, shotgun set on 3rd down and 10. Little pass to Puka for a yard. Good tackle by the Vikings. 4th down and 9 at the Ram 42. Yeah, I believe they're specially designed chairs that instead of being like, the regular, steel chair, it's more of like hard plastic. It's like a little bit lighter of a material that they use. Something that can make the sound, just like the tables, obviously are going to be lighter than a normal table. Everything is going to be, used to specification in wrestling. For real, though. Oh, shit! Oh, my God. Coup de grace. Finn to Priest. Oh, and he really had to step on him there. 27-9. We're in the 3rd quarter here. Finn and Damian Priest putting on a show on Monday Night Raw here in San Jose. And when I tell you we're going to double dip, we're double dipping. Oh! Into the barrier. Great match. And it feels like Monday Night Raw now being on Netflix, we're going to see more pay-per-view, PLE type of matches during Raw. And in the past, we would get one of those matches maybe once or twice a month on Raw. Now I feel it's like going to be a staple of Raw where we're going to have like a pay-per-view type of match every Raw, at least one. And that's going to be good for business and good for ratings. I mean, the opening match with Penta and Chad Gable was fucking sweet. And then this one is living up to the billing as well. Priest. Well, Razor's Edge. Razor's Edge into the table. Man, San Jose getting their money's worth right now, baby. I mean, for all those years that you guys got Monday Night Raw at 5 and I had to wait till 8, like almost like in a replay, it's so cool to be able to watch it with you guys at the same time as everyone else in the Midwest and the East Coast. Us on the West Coast, we got it dirty. We had to wait till 8 and watch it from 8 to 11 when you guys would be done at 8. Oh! Big choke slam. 1, 2. And Priest wins. When you're NWO for life, brother. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Pat losing his goddamn mind. Warren G. Rest in peace, Nate Dogg. Because if Nate Dogg was alive, he'd be there. What a great match. That was definitely PLE, pay-per-view quality. You know, the Chad Gable and Penta debut, even though we wanted the Penta debut last Monday, but they saved it for this Monday. Awesome, man. Showing you why WWE is king. Halfback toss. Darnold to Jones. Good defense there by the Rams. Minimal gain. Witherspoon is injured. Is Raw over? Oh, it's only 2 hours and 30 minutes. That's it? They're showing like the copyright thing on the screen. Is Raw over? Raw is only 2 hours and 30 minutes? So the first episode was 3 hours and 3 minutes, and then Monday Night Raw now is only 2 hours and 30? What happened to the last 30 minutes? What the heck? Why would it only be 30 minutes? New live episode next Monday. Well, it was awesome. I mean, they could have had, filler matches or interviews in the back. I mean, anything. But I guess, there might be an after show. That's a little disappointing. I wanted more. I want more. Give me another 30 minutes. Give me another 27 minutes. I don't think anyone anticipated it being a 2 hour and 30 minute show after it was a 3 hour and 3 minute show on the first one. But yeah, I guess that was the main event. I mean, they were, making it main event like that, but wow. I mean, it was great, but when you're used to having 3 hours and then you get 2 hours and 33 minutes, you feel a little cheated. But big hit there. End of the third quarter, 27-9 Rams. And then when the Natty is on next week, we'll still be doing Monday Night Raw. We'll do the Ohio State University versus the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and then we'll do Monday Night Raw also. And then after that, it should be just Monday Night Raw on Mondays unless there's something else that's going to be an event. But I assume that we won't have any football on Mondays after that. So is there a YouTube after show? 27-9 Rams. I mean, with wrestling being like that, I mean, I want more, But again, they put on a damn show, but, I feel like you could have filled the other 27 minutes with like build up to next week, interviews, backstage stuff, run-ins, people getting jumped, whatever, But again, I mean, I guess it's more about quality over quantity. So, I mean, if the shows are going to be 2 hours and 30 minutes long, but they're a great 2 hours and 30 minutes, and they cut out the 30 minutes of bullshit, then, But again, I guess for us wrestling fans, we're never going to be fully satisfied unless we get what we normally are used to. But that was a hell of a show, and they are killing it on Netflix, man. I just don't like one show being 3 hours and 3 minutes and then the next show being 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's not like they have anything else. It's on Netflix, right? There's no time restraints, and if anything else, you show me something from another show like, WWE, superstars or something, like some kind of extra thing that you're doing, there, or, interviews, with some of the people, even just having Michael Cole and Pat talk and going over what happened and showing highlights of the night. They could have done that for 27 minutes. I would have been cool with that. Just like a recap of what was going on and whatnot. But, but that was a little strange, but hell of a show though, for sure. And then we'll see what we get here in the fourth quarter. Obviously, we know the Vikings are not going to come back and win, but we'll see if we can get any type of interesting action here in the fourth. Come on, baby. Shep in the building. What's good? Man, I haven't heard from you in a long fucking time, man. MIA. How have you been, bro? I assume you've been working a lot. We missed you. Long time no see, dude. I've been thinking about you the last few days. I was going to hit you up and see what you were up to or if you were doing okay. It's been a minute, my guy. Don't be a stranger to the channel. And remember, even if, finances are tight and you can't donate, that doesn't mean that you can't hang out and, spend some time with us. So. Oh, you went on a vacation? But we missed you, man. I'm glad you got a vacay. You're one of the hardest working people, that I feel that I know besides myself. And I know you work really, really hard for your goals. And, I know sometimes you feel a little underappreciated and overworked and whatnot. And we definitely miss you, my guy. Don't be a stranger, man. Make sure you hit me up. Let me know that you're doing all right. And, and even if you only can stop by for just like even a few minutes, that's better than, not at all. So Jamaica, shut up, bro. You went to Jamaica with the fam? Dude, what was the best food that you had? The jerk chicken that was like underground where they like bury it and whatnot, like the authentic jerk chicken. I know you had some. I know you had the authentic jerk chicken. It's like on the beach. They dig a fucking hole. They fucking burn it under there and then cook it up. Oh, man. I can only imagine. Jamaica me crazy. Oh, my. Jamaican man. Oh, bro, you did the oxtail too? We've talked about that in the past and whatnot. You were living your Bob Marley life, dude. Oh, my. Our boy just reincarnated into fucking Bob Marley and living his best life. Okay. Hell yeah, my guy. Jerk chicken in the oxtail. Reefer's like, that's good. Really? How was it? What was the best part of the trip? The food, the scenery? Obviously, family time is always good too. But we missed you, man. I've just been grinding away. And again, since football is kind of coming to an end and we're not in baseball season yet, we're going to be doing a lot of filler streams, in January, February, and March until we get into April, whether that be NBA, NHL, college hoops. I would rather do freestyle streams and food streams, but it just depends on what the turnout is going to be. So, but we can always experiment and see what, we're going to be able to get results wise. But I mean, I would love to be able to do like a food stream once a week, to kind of fill in that time and whatnot. So even if it's only for an hour to 2 hours, we don't need to do food for 3 or 4 hours, but we can always do food for an hour to 2 hours and 30 minutes. And I think that would be perfect. Food brings everybody together. That's awesome, man. Good to hear. Nobody has come close to your record on the donos since you ended up doing that for us a couple years back and whatnot. But hopefully we'll end up getting some big dono days again. I've been working really, really hard, and hopefully we can end up having some of those big numbers again. I got bills to pay, Paisley to take care of, and you're still the record holder. Yeah, I'm not sure how many food streams that we're going to do, but if you check social media, based on, on the community section, and you see what I'm doing, but usually I'll tell people what I'm doing the day before and whatnot. But, I would rather do food than do a shitty NHL game or a shitty NBA or, some random college hoops. Now I can always do Duke, and I can always do kind of like Kansas, for like college hoops, and I can have fun with that. But, I think doing food would be better than even doing that. So, but I think that like my ranking would be like food, then college basketball, then maybe NHL, then NBA. So, I mean, if I can try to do anything but the NHL or the NBA at this point until games get a little bit more serious, I would like to be able to do food and, maybe a college hoops game once a week, like Duke or something, or Cooper Flag. But, again, we have to figure out what we're going to be doing. Otherwise, I'll be doing Duke tomorrow, Kansas on Wednesday, and then maybe food on Thursday, food on Friday, maybe. Yeah, any dono would be appreciated. Regardless if it's a dollar to a big dollar amount. Every dollar counts. But we'll be doing a little bit of NASCAR on February. Obviously March Madness. We'll do lots of college hoops in March, and then when baseball comes in April, we'll be doing baseball pretty heavily from April till October. So. And then obviously we have college football in the NFL in late August, September. But, that's kind of the, football. And then we transition into baseball. But there's going to be a couple months that we're going to have to do filler content until we get to that point. 2nd down and 8. Darnold. Floater and complete. And a big sack lunch. Loss of 13 yards. This Minnesota Viking offensive line is terrible. Candace in the building. What's good? Ah. Good to hear. Rams with the ball. Let's see if they can pour it on. I mean, shit, honestly, if we could do food streams the next 4 days and we could get enough people to show up and like and sub and donate and share, I mean, that would be my number one thing, honestly. Because, I mean, you can always do other photos other than food, but once you do a food stream, everyone's going to want to look at food photos. But I think food and freestyle streams would be my preference. Not that I don't like college basketball, NBA, or NHL, but, I think that, doing stuff that you guys like and putting that on the screen or doing food would be more of a preference for me, but I just don't know what kind of turnout we would be able to get, Yeah, I think for the most part, everyone's been pretty good. Everyone's just doing the regular routine with work and whatnot, and I've just been grinding away, so. But hopefully we can get some people to come through and, because again, it's not like I can do like food streams and freestyle streams. And if we end up getting like minimal people and we hit 0, I can't have that because obviously I have to pay bills and whatnot. So, if we're going to be doing something like that, we have to get people to show up and support. But I don't know. I think that food and freestyle would be the best. But, my opinion of what I think would be the best might not be, what some of y'all would want. Maybe some of y'all would want NHL, NBA, or college hoops, but I feel like with those, it's, and like if Netflix had SmackDown and NXT, I would do that, and that would be right up there with food and freestyle because, it's just like Monday Night Raw, it's exciting when we can get everyone together wrestling-wise, but unfortunately, we don't have SmackDown and NXT on Netflix yet, so, but one day if they have rights to those, I definitely will do a live stream for those shows. Yeah, I don't have a gaming system. I work too hard to game, so too much reading and film study, but maybe one day. But that is an idea, I don't own an Xbox or a PlayStation 5 or anything. I actually spend more time on my PlayStation 2 or Nintendo 64 playing old school games than I do anything new, so. But if we ended up doing like food, it would be like, or freestyle, it would be probably from like 5 to 7 o'clock, something like that, my time. So that way it would be early enough and not too late for others. So. Kyron Williams, first down, Rams, who the chains. Yeah, Rams going to Philly. And that Sam Darnold call went down as a safety of the Rams player. Knew he did the face mask, and they still didn't call it. There's another face mask there. Not as bad as the Sam Darnold one, but. So what do you think, Sarah? You're going to be available to hang out. Should we do? Should I just do Duke tomorrow, Kansas and Iowa State on Wednesday, and then maybe do food or freestyle on Thursday and Friday? I mean, we really don't have that many options, in these next 4 days. So Kyron down the sideline. I mean, if I knew we could get good results by doing food 4 days in a row or freestyle, I would just do that. But, I don't know what we would get for a turnout. Yeah. So I'm thinking, I'll do Duke Miami at 6 p.m. Pacific, for Cooper Flag. Do Kansas because I haven't done a lot of Kansas yet. Iowa State is good. Haven't seen them this year. Maybe do that on Wednesday. And then We'll do maybe a food stream on Thursday. And then, it can also be freestyle where, people donate or whatever. And then we show photos of their favorite rapper or car or whatever, a favorite video game or whatever. And, we could do that freestyle or food or both. And then based on what we get results wise on Thursday, then maybe we could do it again on Friday if it ends up being, a decent stream. And then if it ends up being good for Thursday and Friday, then maybe we can start doing that once or twice a week. That for filler content, which would be great. No, because if Jerry Jones is still owning that team, he's not going to let Dion be Dion. You could trade Dak away, bring in Shedeur Sanders and Dion, but they're not going to be able to control the team like they want to be able to win. So, just rumors. Nobody that coaches Dallas is going to be successful. As long as Jerry Jones is alive, they're fucked. Yeah. Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Lions. I mean, if you want defense and a little bit of offense, then you're going to go Eagles, Chiefs in a rematch. If you want the most entertaining Super Bowl, that's going to be Lions, Bills. But again, I don't know if we're going to get it this year. Brett is feeling sicky. Tried to go to sleep, but she can't. So she's back. Bother me, baby. First down and 31. My God. The second down and 29. The third and 24. Oh, my. Vikings we're going to play defense now in the fourth quarter. A little too late. Yeah, Tomlin ain't going to get fired, though. Tomlin wouldn't be a good fit either because he wouldn't be able to be himself. Jerry Jones would be pulling all the strings. Mike Tomlin to the Buccaneers would be better than going to Dallas. He's got history with Tampa Bay, coaching there with Gruden back in the day. So, I would take Tomlin on the Bucs, but Todd Bowles is more of a coordinator. Liam Cohen, opened up our offense, but, if we ended up replacing Bowles and, it's not like you can take the head coach and say, hey, you're just going to be the defensive coordinator, but, Tomlin and Bowles together would be nice. Little minimal game by Kyron Williams. Kyron Williams now a punt, and the Vikings will get the ball back. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be looking at coordinators for openings like Ben Johnson. But remember, just because they're good for a team calling plays as a superstar team like the Lions doesn't mean that Ben Johnson's going to go to, your favorite team or another team. And then all of a sudden that's going to be the best coach in the NFL. I feel that, just because you're good at calling plays doesn't mean you're going to be a good head coach. Some guys it works. But for others that we've seen over the years, it doesn't. So sometimes coordinators are just coordinators. So Brett, Vrabel and Josh McDaniels bringing back former Patriot players as head coach and OC. You like it? You love it? You hate it? Yeah, but it'll definitely be interesting. I will agree to that. $27-9 Rams. That's a lot of zeros. Baby, 1,000,000,000,000,000% in. Yeah, well, it'll be better than Mayo, but again, how long are they going to give Vrabel and McDaniels if that happens? Is it going to be like a 1-year thing, a 2-year thing? As long as they can get respect from the players and they don't give up, on the coaches, where they have it, go in one ear out the other, and hopefully you get some more weapons at running back, wide receiver, and tight end. So you have better options than just like Demario Douglas and Ramondre Stevenson, and we can see Drake May hopefully develop a little bit further. $27.9 Ramley. All right, so tomorrow we're going to stream at 6 p.m. Pacific for Miami versus Duke, and that'll be on ESPN. Wednesday, we'll stream Kansas and Iowa State at 4 Pacific on ESPN2. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll probably do, either food streams or a freestyle or both. I guess it really depends on, what I'm feeling and whatnot, but maybe I'll just label it just doing food and whatnot, so... And then if we have good results on Thursday doing the food and the freestyle, then we'll do it again on Friday. If it ends up not being that good, then we'll just take Friday off, and then we'll do NFL playoff games on Saturday and Sunday. Monday will be the Natty, Ohio State and Notre Dame, and Monday Night Raw on Netflix week number 3. So we just have to figure out what we're going to be doing here for these next 4 days. So I guess it's college hoops, and then maybe food and food. So. Yeah. What's your schedule like? Are you going to be available this week to be able to hang out? And I'm going to be able to put up the best food photos on anybody on YouTube. So, I'll give you the 4K HD, and nothing is off limits. Pizza, tacos, spaghetti, pad thai, Korean barbecue. I mean, I think doing food streams, and it goes quick. Because I'm getting the photos and whatnot. So, I mean, doing an hour or 2 hours of food will go by very fast, much faster than doing a shitty NBA game or NHL or something like that. So, hibachi. I mean, hell, I would just do food streams for the next 4 days if I knew I could get the, turnout, and we could end up getting the likes and the subs and the donos. That would be my personal preference, just doing food. But I just don't know what we would get, I guess once we start it, we'll find out. Yes. Fourth down and 1 for the Vikings. Nah. First down. .624 left here in the fourth. Tell him, Peyton. No playoffs, no gift, he says. Rams with the challenge. 4th and 1. Oh, go-to for wings, man. That's a good question. I mean, I feel like with wings, any kind of, flavor is good. They got the, regular, you got the lemon pepper, the barbecue. I mean, I really feel there's not really anything that I won't eat as necessarily like as a wing. And you got, times where you can just eat it normal, or you can dip it, in a sauce, and whatnot. But I guess it just depends on how I'm feeling. Like my diet has changed, with Paisley, and obviously I'm exercising a lot more obviously now than I did a few years back, and I'm walking with Paisley about an hour and a half to 2 hours every day, 7 days a week. So I've dropped a lot of weight, and I don't really eat fast food or drink soda or anything like that, but I try to have a cheat meal at least once a month, if I go out with my friend Justin and we have some food. But if I'm having that cheat meal, who knows how many wings I could devour? A lot. Hot honey lemon pepper. Ooh, that sounds great. Damn, Shep, 15 to 20. I could probably do the same. Now, I don't know if I could afford to eat 15 or 20 wings, though. Darnold. Munt. Go Ducks. Johnny. First down, Vikings. Korean barbecue wings, yeah. So after coming back from Jamaica, now eating like food here in the States, is it a little weird? Like you got spoiled with the Jamaican mon. You had the Jamaican cuisine with the jerk chicken and the oxtail and all that, and now eating like regular food here in the States is probably a little bit of a letdown compared to what you were eating before. Little screen game to Aaron Jones, flag on the play. Yeah, I don't even know if I could eat 15 or 20. Maybe like 5 to 10 would be more my wheelhouse, but I guess if I was super hungry and I didn't eat anything all day, I might be able to do 15 to 20, but probably take me a while. My stomach is, it's shrunk compared to what it was. Darnold. 12 noon. You know what time it is. Time for a second lunch. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, my. 8 sack lunches on Darnold. Disgusting. What was the best fruit that they had there in Jamaica? They probably have fruit that's specifically only in Jamaica. What kind of fruits did you eat there? Wow. Vikings are terrible today. Offensive line. This might be one of the worst offensive line performances I've ever seen in the playoffs, let alone from a team that was 14-3. 14-3 against a 10-7. This is ridiculous. But again, I wasn't really a believer of this Viking team, and anytime I have that gut feeling, I usually am right. I'm not going to be right about everything, but I definitely was right about this one. But I thought the Vikings would make it a little bit closer. I don't think anyone anticipated it being this lopsided, but I did have the Rams winning. Is that big back energy? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And we're at 70, 30 to go to hit the goal. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had the star fruit or not. And you just answered my question. So how many days were you there with family? You guys stayed there for a week? 7 days? Terrible throw to Jetta when they had the ball. All right, Rams. 3 minutes and 30 seconds until this one is over. And Minnesota players are willing to just forget this entire night. And again, it shows you, it's not what you do in the regular season, it's what you do in the postseason. And if you don't have good offensive line, you will get absolutely torched, especially if the other team has got some good pass rushers, which the Rams do. God damn, 2 weeks. You guys must be rich. Holy fuck. 2-week vacation in Jamaica? I'm over here fucking struggling every day. You out here in Jamaica going vacay for fucking 2 weeks. Golly. Must be nice. I'm out here fucking grinding every fucking day. Two-week vacation. Shit, you're going to have to adopt me. I'm going to have to be Orion Williams pretty soon. You're like, yeah, it's my brother from another mother. He's coming to the Jamaica. Jamaica on. I bet it was hard to leave. Fourth down and 2 on the Minnesota 46. Delay a game. Fourth down and 7 on the Rams 49. I think I heard a whimper at the door. I don't know if that was Paisley. Let me check. There you go. Good girl. All right, Paisley's in the room. Usually around the same time. With the streams, a little bit after that 3-hour mark. She misses Dad a little bit too much. She misses the snuggles and the walks. We'll go on a long, long walk here tonight. Two team planes, 400 passengers, 6 dogs, and 2 cats, baby. I mean, great performance by the Rams, but again, Minnesota's performance, you know, I don't know if it was even worse than what we saw with Denver. I mean, Denver at least had that Bo Nix play with Troy Franklin early on. I know they only had 7, and also the Vikings, could have had 10, and then you could have had that fumble for a touchdown. If it would have counted, then it would have been, 27-17. And that's kind of what I thought, the game would be somewhere between 3 and 10 points is what I was thinking. But I didn't assume that the offensive line was going to be so terrible for Minnesota. But I guess that's where we're at. $70 is $70 STL. I mean, we've had streams where we hit 100, 200, 500, 1,300, 1,500. So 70 is obviously, I'm very appreciative of every number that we get, but it's not like that's the, you're acting like 70, like we hit 700. 70 is 70. I mean, the standard goal is 100 on every stream, based on all the hard work and efforts that we put on. So, again, it's not like I have 20 subs. I got, 20,000 plus. So, if you work hard, it's like I've been doing this shit for fucking 13 years, every dollar matters and counts, but 70 might be big for you, but for someone like me, that's got bills and I got to take care of Paisley, we're $30 short of our normal goal. So yeah, well, the Vikings weren't going to win this game no matter what with offensive line play like that. Even if they don't go for 2, even if they got the fumble for a touchdown, they weren't going to win this. Again, it shows you got to improve the offensive line because, again, it's like, if Sam Darnold doesn't have time, it's not Darnold's fault. It's the offensive line's fault. It's like going 14-3 is great, but again, you don't want to get destroyed like this, against a team that, you got 4 more wins then, but it's not necessarily who you play, it's when you play them. And hopefully in the future, the Vikings will be better. Your defense normally is fantastic, and that's really what got you those additional 4 wins. Instead of being a 10-7 team, you got to 14-3. Andrew Van Ginkel is awesome, and the defense has been really awesome this year. But again, the main reason that you guys lost here today is the offensive line. If you didn't give up 8 fucking sack lunches, maybe you win the game. Maybe Jetta gets the ball. Maybe Addison gets the ball. Maybe Aaron Jones is able to hit the lanes, and hit the holes a little bit better. But, if the offensive line stinks, then sometimes this is the harsh reality, Building blocks. But it's not like the Vikings weren't going to, it's not like this team was going to go to the Super Bowl. If you guys would have matched up in the next round against the Lions or the Eagles, you weren't going to win either one of those games, and you guys know that as a fan base. I mean, you can have wishful thinking, thinking, oh, we got 14 wins, maybe this is the year. But again, if you don't have everything on point, especially the offensive line, you need O-line, D-line, defense, coaching, play calling. And you guys are moving in the right direction, under Kevin O'Connell, but obviously you're still needing a few more pieces until you can get, to the NFC Championship game. So. I mean, it's just, you got to crawl before you walk. I'm a Buccaneer fan, a Duck fan, a Blazer fan, and a Mariner fan. You think I'm fucking happy? Ducks being fucking number 1 all year, halfway through the season, going only a team undefeated 13-0, winning the Big Ten in our first year, and then fucking losing to Ohio State the way that we fucking did, putting up 34 in the first half. That's bullshit. We had 1 bad half, and our season was over. Blazers are terrible. Kraken are terrible, right? Mariners usually fucking suck, and they end up, winning 54% of their games because ownership doesn't do anything, You're not the only one that's in pain, my guy. There's a lot of us that, don't get what we want. It's like I usually have one good team out of all my teams that's good. I'm Ducks, Bucks, Kraken, Mariners, Blazers. I usually have one good team out of all my teams, sometimes two. I usually don't have more than two that are good at a time. So, it is what it is. Yeah, but Jaden Daniels is the truth. So I'm not really sick. And if I'm really honest, that Buccaneer loss didn't hurt me. We were a pretender, and anyone that won that game wasn't going to win against the Eagles or Lions in the next round. It's like, something under your belt, but it's not like, some teams are contenders and some teams are pretenders, right? The Buccaneers were a pretender. We weren't good enough. Again, the Lions, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Bills, and Chiefs, those are Super Bowl contenders. Everyone else is a pretender. So it is what it is. Yeah, he went to go hang out with his girlfriend. That's why. Plus, he wasn't good for you guys this year anyways. He was ass. The backup, showed some flashes, but, you got the wins with him, when it mattered the most, when you ended up getting the natty, but he wasn't a good quarterback this year. And it shows you the SEC is dead, my guy. The Big Ten is king. SEC is not the same as what it was before with Bama and Georgia. Now, they'll still be relevant to a certain degree, as well as Texas, but, the Big Ten is king now. Eagles were terrible last year. What are you talking about? They ended up being like 10-0, and then they lost like 7-8 games in a row. Beating the Eagles doesn't mean anything. Come on, my guy. I know when we're contenders and when we're pretenders, I'll still watch my games, but it's like I'm not in denial mode. I know when my team is good enough to win, especially if you've won a championship. You look at the roster, you look at the coaching, you know what it takes to get there. And if the team doesn't have the same kind of personnel, you know that you're not going to make it. There's certain teams that are legit, and there's others that just, are playoff teams. And that's it. Final score, Rams 27, Vikings 9. I have faith, but I know my roster. I've been watching sports longer than you, But bro, I'm 42. I've been watching since I was 3 years old. And why do you think I'm at fucking 20,000 subs? You think I just got to that by accident? It's like I've been watching games for a long fucking time. Because if you end up having too much faith in a team that isn't good, then you're just going to get heartbroken every year. Nice job by the Rams. But obviously their season will end when they go to Philadelphia and play in cold weather. Commanders probably have a better chance against Detroit in a dome, but I don't see either of those teams pulling off an upset in that round. You're going to have a Eagles-Lions NFC championship game, and you'll have a Chiefs-Bills AFC championship game. So I've been recording for 13 years, but I've only been on YouTube for 9. So. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to all the people that liked, donated, commented, and shared. We're probably going to do, I would assume, college hoops for the next 2 days. We'll do Duke in Miami at 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow for Cooper Flag. Wednesday, we'll do number 2 Iowa State, 14-1 versus number 9 Kansas, 12-3 at 4 o'clock Pacific on ESPN2 on Wednesday. And then on Thursday and Friday, we'll probably do food streams or freestyle streams. So I'll do updates on my channel when we end up doing that. But I appreciate every single person that liked, sub, donated, commented, and shared. I appreciate you guys very much. Shout out to Captain and Sarah for helping out with the mod duties. Appreciate you guys, Shep. Great to see you. And again, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.